You sound so enthusiastic. I swear, dude.
Don't
Oh
I?
my gosh.
I sound so enthusiastic. Well, we're back to the show. We're not doing the Broncos, though. We're not doing the Avs. We're doing the Cowboys and the Bucks, or as everyone else likes to say, the Cowgirls and prune juice. So, Bill,
Yes.
you are obviously you're about as big of a Cowboys fan as you are a Chargers fan. So
I can't
we all know
stand
how
either
much
one.
you love the Chargers.
No. Oh, I tell you what, that final drive by Jacksonville to beat the Chargers with the field goal. And I know people are going to say, well, that was a bad penalty. Shouldn't have called it. Blah. Hey, you know what? You take your helmet. I know taking his helmet off was earlier. But my point is this. You know, if you're going to make stupid mistakes and you're up 20, it was just like the Colts against the Vikings, up 33-0. And they decided to just, see if they can milk out the clock the rest of the game. And guess what? Jacksonville said, nah, not in our house.
Creamsicles.
Creamsicles. I don't get that one.
That could be taken in a dirty way. So we're not going to put that up there. Want to welcome Avatar and Bubba Gump.
Bubba Gump.
I am proud of you for coming back for more abuse from us on the neighborhood.
Yeah, we have a tendency to. Well, I don't. This guy does. Where
I don't do anything.
This guy. Yeah.
Okay, so let's run over some finals so far in the playoffs. Obviously, we saw the 49ers beat the Sea Chickens or River Chickens, my bad. 41-23. Jacksonville comes back from 27-0 and wins 31-30 at the end. Buffalo and Miami was surprisingly a good game.
That really.
I didn't think Skylar Thompson was going to play very well. I thought they were just going to get annihilated, but it was 34-31. Good game. The Giants pull out a win over the Vikings, which super excites Bill. 31-24. And then Cincinnati and Baltimore. Did you watch that game last night?
Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
Oh my God, that ball hit him in the hand.
Yep.
He almost had a touchdown.
Yep. And how about, are you talking about the dive over?
No, the Hail Mary at the very end.
Oh, yeah. But how about the dive over, the presence to knock it away, and then the guy, I'm telling you what, he almost didn't make it to the end zone. He just had enough gas to get there.
I tell you what.
That was a great play. Awesome play.
It was very interesting. We also have some very interesting news before the game starts for everyone that is a Broncos fan. Jim Harbaugh is not leaving Michigan.
Yes.
He has signed a contract with Michigan, is going to be very well paid at Michigan, and will not be coming to the Broncos as the head coach. He let the Broncos know already. So that takes Jim Harbaugh off of the possibilities for head coach.
Love it.
Everybody is saying Sean Payton and Dan Quinn. I got to tell you, I think I'd prefer Dan Quinn.
Yep. I like what Avatar says. You talk about a devoted guy to the MHRT network. Look at that.
Okay, now what you need to do is you need to unmute both and have us talking at the same time and see if you can figure out who's saying what.
You want me to turn this on?
Yeah, go ahead and turn it on. Game's getting ready to start. Oh, and by the way, at halftime of this show, Zach Seegers is going to join us so we can talk more Broncos coaching search.
Love it. All right, Cowgirls got the ball first. Come on, get it. Good, incomplete. Good.
How far ahead of me are you?
Oh, I don't know. Am I ahead of you?
Yeah, I haven't even ran a play yet.
Okay, I'll hit pause. I'll tell you what. Let me hit pause. Hang on. Right when they get ready to line up.
See, this is why everybody tunes in, just to see you and I scramble to try to sync up TVs.
Yeah, I know. Okay, hang on, Hanson. Right. Okay, I paused it right when he lifted his leg up.
I mean, for the second play?
Yeah. Oh, you still on the first play?
Yeah, they just did the first play. Dude, I don't know why you're so far ahead of me. Are you on the app or are you on TV?
I'm on TV, man. I know this is why people. I know why this is why people
tune because they're like, what are these idiots doing over here?
Oh my God. Tell me right when he lifts his leg and puts it back down the turf, I'll let it go.
Well, I'm assuming you would put it back down. Now.
Okay. They got that little swing pass. Good. And lost. Lost of 2 or 3 yards. Good. Good. So, hey, let me ask you this.
I don't know, man. Like, sorry to cut you off. I really think that the Cowboys are really overrated.
Overrated?
Like, yeah, is that just me?
No, I don't think that's just you. I mean, the whole NFC East, other than the Eagles.
Well, okay, so this is one thing that I did want to bring up, and I wanted to wait until the game started, because there's rumors flying around that if the Cowboys lose the first round of the playoffs,
right,
they're going to get rid of McCarthy, and then if that happens, they might offer Quinn the job in Dallas, Dan Quinn.
Oh.
Do we want that to happen, or do we want Quinn with the Broncos? So then it's like, okay, so do we want Dallas to win or no?
Okay, what I want, seriously, in a head coach, I don't care who it is, somebody who can work with Wilson and let Wilson be Wilson. I've said that many times. I've said it in my shows the last couple of weeks. So that's what I want. I don't know if it's a Dan Quinn. I don't know if it's a Jim Caldwell. I don't know if it's Sean Payton. I don't know who it is. What I'm saying is I want somebody who can work with Wilson and get the best out of Wilson and have Wilson be Wilson. That's what I want. So do I want the Cowgirls to win tonight? Heck no. Can't stand them. I don't like Jerry Jones. I don't like Dak Prescott. I don't like the whole, America's team. Come on, BS. Seriously? Cowboys America's team?
Bubba's got a signed jersey by Emmitt Smith. Lucky.
Wow.
Avatar's favorite Bronco or Cowboys player is DeMarcus Ware.
Well, DeMarcus Ware was on Denver as well. So, I mean, I'm not saying I don't like certain players on the team. I'm saying I don't like the team in general, period. I don't like how the fans react and, they're all in on Dallas winning. Dallas is winning. I mean, it's like...
Jeez, Micah Parsons.
I know. We had a chance to draft him, didn't we?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, he was there.
Who did we take instead of Parsons?
He was a rookie last year, right?
Micah Parsons. Yeah, but who did we take instead of him? Go Sertan. Cowboys! Wait, whoa!
Sertan!
What the heck?
Hey, Kevin Dandino. He's from Orange Weekly.
Hey, Kevin, nice to have you in the house. It's all good. You can cheer for whoever you want. Just glad to have you around.
My favorite all-time Dallas Cowboy is Jimmy Trevette. James Trevette is my all-time. Go long Trevette. He's my all-time favorite.
My all-time favorite, and this may shock some people, and I probably should have put it up as a question, but my all-time Dallas Cowboy person, not necessarily player, but person. You know who that is, Mike?
Oh, you were asking me?
Asking anybody. I know it's not a question but my all-time favorite person on the Cowboys.
Oh. I don't know. You got to narrow it down because there's a lot. What position?
No, I said not necessarily a player.
Oh, well, Tom Landry.
There you go.
You said that earlier. I was paying attention.
Tom Landry's I love that guy. Absolutely.
See, I'm trying to figure out when everyone's going to notice that my favorite Cowboys player isn't a real player. He's fictional.
Well, I know. I was going to say, I didn't recognize that name.
Jimmy Trevette from Walker, Texas Ranger. He was on the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, my God.
He's my favorite Cowboy.
Oh, shoot. You always come up with these weird off-the-wall things.
Yeah, my wife hates me for it.
There's so much fun, to try and figure out what the heck they're saying, Ooh, they slammed him down hard. I'm surprised there's no penalty there after he received the punt. Wow. He got slammed
I'm always down to do some more collabs.
Huh?
Kevin Dandino from Orange Weekly said we should do more collabs. I'm down.
Collabs?
And Avatar, yeah, like collaboration.
Oh, got it.
Hey, Avatar said the same thing I do. PS2 is who we drafted instead of Michael Parsons.
Right. That's right.
Listen, and then there's some people like the guys, Caleb, that's on Sports Nonsense and Whiskey, that's going to be starting next week.
Right.
He's a big Fields over Surtain guy, and I'm not.
No.
Like, there's, and I kind of agree with what Peyton said when he was talking about why he took a corner over a quarterback. There's a lot more readily available good to great quarterbacks at all times. Free agency, trade, draft, whatever. But I don't like to get a shutdown franchise corner is very, very difficult. That's why you can sit here and count on your fingers how many are like actual shutdown franchise corners. I mean, there's Revis, there's Champ Bailey, there's
so
Richard
let me ask
Sherman for a year, maybe. Like there's so many where it's like,
yeah. So let me ask you a question,
Dion.
Let me ask you a question. Going back to that draft, and you are the person to pull the trigger. Would not knowing now what you know, or not? Excuse me, not knowing then what you know now. Would you still make the same choice and take a Patrick Surtain over a Micah Parsons?
Yes.
And then now knowing what we know now, of course I would. I mean,
yes.
You're right. I mean,
I would either way.
Yeah, both ways. I mean, when you look at a Patrick Surtain, that guy is absolutely shut down. And to be voted, and I know that there's a lot of animosity and anger, like myself, towards Justin Simmons not being on the first team for the Pro Bowl. But Patrick Surtain definitely deserves it. Absolutely deserves it. And I'm glad for him that he's on the first team. You
have a lot of anger for a lot of things, though. Like, you hate so many people and so many players.
People.
It's like, dude, it's like you are so angry at people. It's kind of like at these teams. It's almost like the owners of all the teams you hate, like, slapped your mother, and now you're really mad at them because you're like, back in 1972, this team did this, and I've hated them ever since. And it's like, Jesus, Bill.
My wife said the same thing. She's like, can't you get over it? And I'm like, no, I can't, because it may be a different team chemistry, makeup, whatever, but it's still got the logo. I don't know. Is it
Bubba
my age?
Gonzalez says Terrell Davis. Oh, sorry. Bubba Gump says that Terrell Davis is his favorite Bronco. Everybody knows who my favorite Bronco is.
Yeah. The guy who knocked it, John Mobley.
John Mobley.
Yep. I'll never forget that now. All right. Come on, get him. Don't let him get good. Nice. Oh, wow. He got away.
Dude, Tony Pollard is sneaky.
Man.
Like, he's slick enough to get through those small openings, but he's got enough power to run through somebody. Pollard is like, eventually Pollard is gonna leave and be a starter somewhere.
I mean that was surprising. I thought for sure he was tackled for at least a 2-yard loss. He ends up getting 2 or 3. Well, there's a lot of Cowboy fans in Tampa Bay, man. Wow. 3rd and 7.
There's Cowboys fans everywhere.
Well, yeah, because they come out of the woodwork when they're doing well.
Whoa!
Get him, sack!
Get him, Vita Vea! Yes!
Good. If you guys notice, I got the red behind me. I'm trying to make it red, but with my overhead light here, it makes it look more orange. But anyways, I got the red because in favor of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Bill, you forgot to tell me that I forgot the score again.
It's okay. There's no score. It's okay. You know who didn't tell you?
Avatar.
Now you're gonna blame him. He's watching 2 freaking shows at the same time, man.
No, it's supposed to be Scuba Steve, but he's not here.
I know. Where is he? Come on, get him. I mean, go get him. Go. What am I saying? Get him. Well, he got to the 40. All right.
Yeah, that was a weird.
That was weird, the whole movement on that punt. That was crazy.
Now, this is what I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to look back at the drafts where, like, did the Broncos have a shot at getting Vita Vea and they passed on him? Like, those are the kind of things I want to know.
Well,
because Vita Vea as a defensive or a nose tackle with the Bucs is like best in the league.
Well, who was the GM at the time?
Man, how many years has Vita Vea been in the league?
8?
5, 6?
Oh, I thought maybe.
So
8, okay.
It would have been Elway.
Elway. Oh, well, there you go. That's why. I mean, come on. I don't mean to dog on the guy, but seriously, I mean, mistake after mistake after mistake. We could have had, and I know people say, well, he wasn't what he is today, but we could have had Josh Allen, but we didn't take him.
Well, and this is the one pushback I'll put on that.
Here we go.
And like any time that I say like Vita Vea or Micah Parsons or Bradley Chubb or like a defensive player, if we would have drafted one of those players, we had good defensive coaches on the team.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was saying, well, we could have gotten Josh Allen. Right, but then you're pairing Josh Allen with Vance Joseph and whoever was the offensive coordinator at that time. Like, there's a big difference between Vance Joseph and whatever the offensive coordinator is there than
Rosberg.
No, the head coach over at
Buffalo.
Yeah, who's the now I forgot his name.
It's okay. I know what you're talking about.
The head coach of the Bills and Brian Daboll.
Right.
Like, that's the reason why Josh Allen is so good.
Okay, I get what you're saying. And you make really good points. That's true. I'm just saying I would love
for example, PS2, right?
Right.
Like, we took PS2 and paired him with one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL.
Right.
With Vic Fangio. So he's going to get good. But let's say you draft Justin Fields and then you pair him with Vic Fangio and Pat Shurmur. You don't have the same Justin Fields. That's why when you're like, we should have taken Justin Fields. Why?
Yeah.
And then even if it wasn't like, even if we would have gotten rid of Fangio and Shurmur and then hired Hackett, well, that doesn't help either because he was awful.
Yeah. A lot of people say McDaniels was the worst head coach. I disagree. I say it's Hackett. Hackett was the worst one.
Well, okay. And this is the reason why I say that it was McDaniels. Because Hackett was good for the morale of the players. Like, the players loved him.
Right.
But as far as, like, lasting damage to the organization, he didn't really do a lot.
No.
So there's no real long-term effects. Whereas with McDaniels, he got rid of Jay Cutler. He got rid of Brandon Marshall. The players hated him. The front office hated him. Ownership hated him.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of damage that he did to the roster, even though we were able to go and get Peyton Manning, he was able to cover up a lot of the problems with the roster.
Right.
But the front office was still trying to fix the damage from McDaniels 3 or 4 seasons later. That's
true.
why I say McDaniels is the worst one we've ever had, because of the amount of damage he did to the team.
Yeah. No, you make a good point. Make a really good point. And of course, you know, I see it from a fan standpoint. I just want the best player out there. And of course, when I see him go to another team and become amazing.
That pump fake was awful.
Ooh, boy, I thought that was picked off. Wow. I'll tell you what, both defenses of this game have come out to play. I mean, both defenses. Cowgirls are shutting down the Buccaneers. And Tampa Bay.
Cowgirls versus the Creamsicles.
I don't know what that means.
That's what their old uniforms used to be called, the creamsicle uniforms.
Really?
The Bucks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, back in the 70s when they started, they had those like light orange creamsicle colored jerseys. So they called them creamsicle.
Son of a gun. See,
how am I telling you about history? You were there.
I was not there. Well, I was alive. I remember it, but I just I never follow. I never follow NFC teams or NFC games until unless the Vikings are playing, and we won't talk about that game last night.
Why don't you want to talk about that game last night?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it at all, huh?
I
told you the Vikings were overrated. I tried to tell you ahead of time. I warned you.
All right, I'm putting my hat over my heart. I'm not saying they, yes, they squeaked out some games, obviously against the Colts, and then some other games where they pulled it out. I beat the Giants in a late second field goal, but every single one of their, well, not every single one, 13 out of their 17 games was one possession, including last night. Although they didn't win last night with the one possession difference, but it's still one possession. I don't know, man. It's just, they're like right there. And no, guys, the Vikings are not my favorite team. No, they're not. They're my favorite NFC team. Bite your tongue, man. Want me to remove you? How do I do this? Yeah. No. So yeah, Vikings are my favorite NFC team. But if the Broncos and the Vikings, whenever they play against each other, which will happen this upcoming 2023 season in Denver. That's right.
You'll be wearing purple.
And I always cheer for the Broncos. But if the Vikings win, I'm not as hurt as I would be if we lost to another team.
What if we win ugly?
I don't care, just as long as we win.
What if we lose ugly?
I'll be pissed because that means
it's like a Rams game.
I don't see that. I really don't see that Rams game like that. I don't see that happening. No, not in Denver, not with a new head coach, not with hopefully a head coach that understands Russell Wilson. I don't see that. Who? But if we lose ugly, then I'm going to pin it on the referees for making a stupid call somewhere else.
Referee's fault.
It is. I mean, let them play, man. Let them have the opportunity. If they miss a field goal, okay. So they lost it on their own. Don't take it away like they did in Kansas City. I'm still not over that. Yes. And I know it wouldn't have changed anything.
That's loud.
Oh, you want to turn it down?
No, it's fine. Just going from like me and you talking nice and quiet.
Oh. It's time for the kick on. Ow. Yeah, you're right. That hurts. All right, 20-yard line. Cowgirls have the ball. 10 minutes exactly left in the first quarter. Wow, this is a very, very long first quarter. Come on, get that guy. Get him. What the heck?
Is Zeke out or something? Why isn't he playing?
I don't know. I haven't seen him at all. You're right. I have no idea.
Tyler Smith.
What, you wanted to play?
No, I'm just curious.
2nd and 5. Come on, defense. Come on. The Cowgirls hate that blue jersey. Make them hate it even more. Come on.
How do they hate the blue jersey? It's theirs.
Out of bounds. Oh, he caught it. Dadgummit. How'd that ball?
Dadgummit.
How did he catch that thing? Got like 5 feet over his head. The Cowboys. Hey, we were gonna do the
Vikings game, but Bill got caught on the toilet, and that's why we couldn't do the game.
No, that's not the reason.
Bill was calling me from the bathroom, like, Mike, I'm falling and I can't get up.
Not the reason. Kamani, don't even go there. That's not the reason. Not the reason. No, my mother-in-law had issues, and so she's better now. Everything's more calm, more into check. So, anyways, thank you so much for being in the house. Kamani, I always appreciate it.
There you go, Bill.
No! Come on.
That's when you see Bill. That's when you get close to the camera and you go, "Damn you, Scuba Steve."
I can't call him that. I can't call him. That's your thing, man. That's your thing. Cowboys, come on. Why do you want the Cowboys? Seriously, why do you want the Cowboys? Excuse me. Do I call them cowgirls? Come on, get him. Cool. Thank you so much, Kamani. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, come on.
Stupid.
Are you freaking kidding me? Let me see that. Come on. Let me see what he did. Oh, he got a shot to the head. Come on. That's not. How's that roughing the passer? What do you want him to do? Stop in midair? What the heck? Oh my gosh, these referees are going to ruin every NFL game from now on out. God. And I'm starting to think more and more, and I hate to say this. It seems like the referees are either getting paid off or they like certain teams.
Oh, big hole on the left.
Get him. Boy, there's a lot of Cowboy fans in Tampa Bay. I'm not liking this.
Dude, they're everywhere. They won't go away.
I know.
So let me ask you this question, Bill.
Yes.
Who is America's team?
Broncos.
Really?
What ain't
That's
the freaking...
that's the cheap answer.
I know. No, everybody says it's the Cowboys, and the reason why.
Well, but there's how they haven't won a Super Bowl since the 90s.
The Vikings are overrated. Ah!
Facts.
Kamani.
Facts. Hold on, Kamani. I got something for you. Hold on a minute.
Kamani, you can't do that to me, man. Mike has already put one dagger in my chest. Now you throw another one with capital letters. Oh, my God. That one hurt last night, man. That one really hurt. That one really hurt. Anyway, I'll survive. Yeah, the reason why they're called America's team is because Tom Landry and Roger Staubach, and back in the day when they're winning all those championships and they're winning their division every single year and whatnot, they were just nicknamed America's team. Oh, come on. Oh, my gosh. Boo. God, that was way too freaking easy, man. Way too easy. Where was the doggone defense? I don't get it, man. Come on. I mean, look at wide open. What the heck? Good gosh. Oh, I do not want. Missed it. He missed it. He missed it.
How did he shank that so bad?
I have no. I mean, he pushed that way right. Wow. Beautiful. I hope it comes back to haunt him.
You're so negative.
I don't want Cowboys. Guys.
Hey, Bill, I got a present for you.
What?
Hey, Kamani, check this out.
Scuba Steve, damn you!
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Steve, damn you.
Okay, he's got a question. Oh,
yeah.
That ain't it. Okay, here it is. He's got a question for you.
Oh, you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, because Bill can't read. Question: if the Cowboys lose, does Mike McCarthy get fired? I don't know. I keep hearing that they're going to let him go, and then it would be like Dan Quinn. I've also heard that Kellen Moore is a favorite to replace him. It's weird because you look at the Dallas Cowboys and they went 13-4. Like, how do you 14-3? Like, how do you fire a coach that just went 13-4 and made the playoffs? Like, I understand you lose in a wild card round, that sucks, but like, you didn't make the playoffs last year, you made them this year. Like, you're getting better. So to me, it doesn't make sense to fire Mike McCarthy. But if you did, you would think that the best candidate for the job would be Dan Quinn, and I don't want that because I want Dan Quinn on the Broncos.
Well, I mean, explain the fact that the Chargers fired Marty Schottenheimer when they went 14-1. I mean, 15-1 or 14-2. Excuse me. Back when
because the Chargers suck.
I know, that's what I loved. I love the fact they got rid of him. But again, I mean, to your point, I just had to throw that in there because as much as I can't stand them. So, and I'm so glad they're out of the playoffs. Yes. Anyways, so Mike McCarthy, I don't know. I agree with you though, Mike. If you have a winning season, just because you lose to in a wild card round, does that mean you lose your job right off the bat? I mean, how many years has he been a head coach for the Cowboys?
Okay, now for me, the only coach that should get fired is probably Brandon Staley.
No,
I'm not saying that I want him to, but I'm saying, like, if there's any coach that needs to be held accountable for a loss, it's Brandon Staley with that 27-point lead they blew.
I know, but I don't want that because I don't want them
I'm not
to get a
saying
good
I
head
do
coach.
either. I'm just saying.
I know. Stop.
7 Super Bowl wins and 5 Super Bowl MVPs. Good God.
You know, the guy is amazing. Come on, Tampa Bay. Come on.
Did they?
The
Cowboys weren't in the NFC Championship last year, were they?
No, he's talking about in the first round.
Oh, first round last year. Did they?
I don't know. I know, but you're going to find out, so that'll be really good.
I am going to find out.
Oh, my gosh. 2nd and 11, they lost a yard on a screen pass. Oh, my gosh. Come on, Tampa Bay. What the heck? You're making Brady look like he's 105.
Oh, they definitely made the playoffs last year. They were 12-5.
Oh, my gosh. Now it's going to be 3rd and 7.
They did lose in the wild card last year. Nice job, Scuba Steve.
Who'd they lose to?
Well, God damn it.
Well, I mean, you gotta say who.
No, I don't.
Well, you want to be complete. Oh no! Kamani.
49ers.
No, come on, you can't say that.
They lost to the 49ers last year.
Look at, he said knock Brady. Now who's the hitman? Are you hitman 2? As in the number 2? Wow.
Listen.
Go.
I think this is going to be Tom Brady's last year.
No, he said.
I mean, I thought that last year, but like Brady this year to me has just not looked healthy. Like,
but it's
got really, really skinny and then kind of came back up and then really skinny again, then back up. Like, I know it's the whole like marriage thing and divorce, but like, I don't know, man. It's just he hasn't looked the same.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: he doesn't have Gronkowski anymore. He doesn't have his top receiver that he had a couple years ago.
Right,
but the Super Bowl.
No, but I'm not. But I'm not talking about like football wise, because football wise, eventually he's gonna drop off. I don't think he's gonna drop off like Breeze or Manning did, where it was like in one season. Like it's probably gonna be a gradual tail off.
Wow, you're saying Manning dropped off? Are you talking about? Or are you talking about Eli?
Peyton.
He didn't. Well, he diminished. I would say. I would say dropped off.
Dude, 2015. We won the Super Bowl despite Peyton Manning.
I understand, but he did enough to get them to where they need to be.
I know, but that's not normally Manning. That's why I'm saying I'm not saying that his drop off was worse than every other quarterback ever, but I'm saying compared to where he normally was to where he was in 2015 was a massive drop off.
Okay, I'll give you that. But I mean,
I keep hearing Raiders.
So do I.
But at the same time, I hear Dolphins too because of Tua.
Oh. No. If anything, he goes and reunites with Josh McDaniels, and he could become, he being Tom Brady, he could become the first ever quarterback to win a Super Bowl with 3 different teams. How crazy is that? And you know what? I kind of hope that happens. Just because it'd be history to say I got to see that in my lifetime. That'd be cool.
Well, plus the fact you'd have a 46-year-old winning the Super Bowl. Like, nobody's done that before.
Yeah, I know. You're like 46,
God,
and then
we're gonna be sitting here in 2035 going, Brady's going for his 15th Super Bowl.
Hey, I don't know if you want me on the neighborhood in 2035 because I'll be 12 years older.
Dude, I don't even know if numbers go that high.
I get okay.
Aaron Rodgers wants to go to the 49ers.
You know, Rodgers doesn't know what he wants.
There's no chance that the 49ers touch Rodgers. Like, they've got Brock Purdy and Trey Lance. Not going to happen.
Tell you what, that Brock Purdy looks really freaking good.
I don't know how. I think that the Niners are going to try to trade Trey Lance.
You think so?
Iowa State. He came from Iowa State. He's a rookie.
Who, Purdy?
Yeah.
I know, but he's playing great.
Mr. Irrelevant from Iowa State.
Yeah, he's playing great. Go figure that. That just goes to show you, if you have determination and talent and desire and will, you could be another Purdy.
And you're dead sexy. Then you could be a Brock Purdy.
Oh, no.
Jimmy G's a free agent. Jimmy G's a free agent this offseason.
I don't want him.
I don't either. But that's why I thought that Jimmy G would go to Las Vegas. Because Jimmy G is also was Brady's backup for a number of years with McDaniels as offensive coordinator.
Sure.
So Jimmy G to the Raiders makes sense.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
Oh, boy.
Hey, well, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Sorry about your that's
as long as you're not a Las
Devil.
Vegas Knights fan, we're fine.
Yep, exactly. Exactly.
If you're a Chargers fan, Bill might go into a heart arrhythmia. So calm down.
Yeah.
Welcome, Josiah. We're just kind of hanging out. It's like a watch party, man. We're sitting here, we watch the game, we talk about it.
I am a diehard Avalanche fan. As you can see, they got the flag in the background, the hat on tonight. Great back-to-back wins, 7-0 2 days ago, 6-3 today against the Detroit Red Wings. So it was great. But glad to have you in the house. You can cheer for whoever you want. You can post whatever you want. We'll comment and we'll be friendly. So welcome to the show. Glad to have you. All right.
I still think that I like the Yeti foot better than the A for the Avs.
Kamani agreed. I mean, he misses the Broncos game. Yeah,
there you go, Evans.
Yeah, Kamani, I couldn't agree with you more, man. I miss Broncos games too.
I don't.
What do you mean you don't?
Dude, there was so much like
I don't think he's talking about losses.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, there was so much anger and stress and resentment
and frustration.
And frustration. It's like, it's kind of cool to just chill and watch football instead of being like, he's open! And then he throws it the other way.
Hey, now you're imitating me, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Come on, Brady. Get rid of it. Throw it.
Dude, now that was a bootleg.
Oh, man. He threw that in quadruple coverage.
That is one thing that I love about Brady. Did you see how well he faked into that bootleg? Good God. Watch this. Watch how open he is on this bootleg.
I know.
That's what I want, right? There. Look at that.
Yeah.
Imagine giving that much space to Russell Wilson.
Oh, Russell Wilson would have ran.
That's what I'm saying.
He would have ran. Whoa, come on, I don't like that score, buddy. I like you a lot, man. You're my homie, but I don't like that score. 27-23 Cowboys?
I don't know. Okay, so do we know that Tom Brady wants to leave the Bucs?
Yeah, I saw that today.
Is there any situation in which he stays?
Guaranteed money, they said. 1 year guaranteed money.
And you don't think the Bucs will pay him?
Oh, absolutely. But he may turn it down and go to somebody else who offers him the same amount. He wants to do something no other quarterback has ever done in the history of the NFL. Have a chance.
This
to
is
win
all
3
I'll say.
Super Bowls with 3 different teams.
There is no chance, and I mean zero.
Get ready,
Holy crap!
Oh, beautiful play.
There is no chance
First and goal at the
that
5-yard
Tom
line.
Brady wins a Super Bowl on a third team if that third team is the Raiders. Not gonna happen.
Where do you want him to go?
If he's gonna go to
Bills?
a team where he can win a Super Bowl, he's got to go to a team that's ready to contend.
Bills?
And you're at that.
You're not gonna go to Bills.
You'd be looking Bills, Chiefs.
No.
Jags.
Oh, stop. Oh, come on, Mike. You lost your mind now. Now you better not.
No,
go
I'm
there.
not. I'm not saying that he's going to go to these teams. I'm saying if he wants to win a Super Bowl on a third team,
But he's
only got 1 or 2 years left, he has to go to a contender. It's not going to happen. Because Tom Brady is not going to make the Raiders a contender. I'm sorry.
He's not going to go to the Bills and take over Josh Allen's
Dolphins.
Oh, that may. You know what?
See?
Kamani said that. Look at Kamani said that right now.
The Dolphins. I'm trying to think of any other team. Jets that are on the verge.
Jets don't have. They're not on the verge. The Jets.
Listen, they're closer than they have been.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I mean, let's
say
that Tom Brady goes to the Lions, and nothing against Jared Goff. Nothing against Jared Goff, but you put Tom Brady on the Lions, that offense is ready to go.
Yeah, I see that.
So while I understand the Raiders because of Josh McDaniels, it doesn't make sense if he wants to win a Super Bowl within a year or two. He's got to go to a contender, and the Raiders aren't a contender.
How about this one? Kamai says Vikings trade Cousins, and he goes, I'm just saying Brady goes to the Vikings.
Now, at the same time, I think it depends on what teams have the cap space to match the money.
Vikings do.
Do they?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I don't care about the Vikings, so I don't know what their cap looks like.
They don't have a whole lot of cap space, but I think they have enough to work a deal where they could let some players go or trade some players to Tampa Bay to get a Tom Brady and then cover the salary he wants.
I don't think he needs a trade.
No, he doesn't need a trade, but I'm saying what they could do is because they need to have cap space, they could release some players or trade some players to other teams.
Ooh.
Rams,
I don't know, because you still have Matt Stafford. And listen, I'm not a fan of this guy, but Baker Mayfield with the Rams crushed it. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Oh, what are you basing it on the 155-10 beat down the Broncos or whatever the score was?
No, it's like even the game before, the game after, and the game before that, like he played well. I mean, it's almost worth looking at Matt Stafford's contract and going, why are we paying you this much when we could pay Baker this to get the same results?
True. Come on, Tampa Bay, get a touchdown.
That
was almost picked off.
I don't know if there's any team that Tom Brady could go to that is more built for the Super Bowl than the Bucs, other than maybe the Dolphins.
So you're saying he stays in Tampa Bay?
If the goal is to win another Super Bowl, I think he has to, because there's no other team that's going to be able to pay you that much money that isn't a rebuild.
Second and goal from the 5. Tampa Bay. Fake handoff. Fake throw.
Oh, boy.
Throw.
Intercepted.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, see, this is me. A year or two ago, I don't see Tom Brady making that throw. That's why I'm saying.
Who in heaven's name was he throwing to? Nobody was there.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's starting to drop off a little bit because a year or two ago, he doesn't make that throw.
Let me see. They're showing a replay.
Now, this is interesting. Baltimore is interesting Because
the player went the wrong way. The receiver.
Baltimore is interesting.
Yeah.
Because what happens if Baltimore doesn't keep Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, well, I mean, they may not. I mean, he's had that injury that was sustained when the Broncos.
He's got the knee injury, and he didn't travel with the team yesterday.
No, he didn't.
He wasn't there.
Yep. Come on, get him.
There's Zeke. So what happens if Lamar leaves and Brady goes to Baltimore? That's an option.
I would hate that because I don't like the Ravens. I cannot stand Harbaugh.
I honestly don't see Pittsburgh, and the reason I don't see Pittsburgh is because they got Pickett, and I think Pickett showed enough that they're going to roll with him and let him take it next year.
Yeah, but if you're learning,
Tennessee is interesting.
If you're learning under somebody like Brady, wouldn't you want to have somebody like Brady so you can learn under?
Ray,
what's happening, my friend? Come on, get him. Good, short by a foot.
See, where have you been, Avatar?
Avatar was watching both shows. So he figured he would go
Avatar.
He figured he'd go over to the cluster puck and watch them, knowing that that's only about an hour show, and come back here and watch the last.
Yes, staying in Michigan.
Yep. Glad. Very, very glad. I did not
Ray,
want
who do you want for head coach? Ooh, pitch.
Dang it. Knock his head off, man. I mean, excuse me. Knock the ball out. I mean, that's what I meant.
Just got home from work. Ooh, I like that one. He wants Caldwell.
Yeah?
I like that one.
You mentioned that before, and I would probably
I like this because there's already been rumors circulating that if Caldwell gets a head coaching job, he's bringing in Frank Reich as his OC. I love that. Jim Caldwell, head coach with Frank Reich as OC. Love it.
You do.
Frank Reich was the OC with the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl.
I didn't know that. Okay, good point. Good point. But who was the quarterback of the Eagles this time?
Then or now?
Then, when they won the Super Bowl.
Carson Wentz and Nick Foles.
Okay, both of those are pocket passers.
Carson Wentz was not a pocket passer.
Well, I would say 75% of the time he was.
Which is what Wilson is at this point. He's not mainly run. He's not 50-50 anymore.
No, he's not 50-50. You're right.
We'll say this. He's not a runner. He's a scrambler. We'll go with that.
Right, exactly.
I think that's fair. Yeah. And I think Carson Wentz is the same way. He's not a runner. He's a scrambler.
Okay. So what category would you label a who played last night? Guy for
Cincinnati?
That young kid that kept running.
Huntley from the Ravens?
70 yards. No, quarterback ran for 70 yards. Well, the Giants guy.
Oh, Daniel Jones?
Yeah. Would you call him a scrambler or runner?
Not usually. I don't know what got into him yesterday. I don't know if he took a bunch of roids before the game.
Yards.
I don't know if he took some ADHD medicine. I don't know if he turned into Forrest Gump. I don't know what was going on, but he doesn't usually run that much.
I mean, that was insane, man. I saw that and I go, is that guy a running back or what? Good, they got it. Well, he gained some yards, but good, they got Dak Prescott.
Here's an interesting one.
What?
What if Brady goes to the Cowboys?
They're not going to pull that trigger.
Think about it. Because if you look at Dak Prescott, he's a little overrated. He's not as good. He's not as good as we think he is. Miss you guys for the Vikings game. Bill was stuck on the toilet, so we couldn't do the show.
No, that's not the
He was in the bathroom calling me, going, "I've fallen and I can't get up," and so we couldn't do the show.
No.
Whoops! I kicked my table.
That's not what happened.
Earthquake.
It was a family situation. It's everything's cool now, so that's what we're doing tonight. But thanks for missing us because I definitely missed doing it. Except I hated the outcome of the game.
Bill ran out of toilet paper and he had to stay in the bathroom until his wife could go to the store and get some, and that's why we couldn't do the show. Babe, throw me the baby wipes.
We ain't got a baby. Okay. Well,
Doesn't mean you shouldn't have baby wipes.
Oh
Andy.
my gosh, how are you wide open?
But think about it this way: you got Dak Prescott, right?
Thanks, I appreciate it. Always well.
Here, let's do this, and this is going to be a little bit of a hot take you might not like. Troy Aikman was overrated. Troy Aikman was not that good of a quarterback.
Okay.
The reason why he was so good is because of the offensive line and the weapons that were around him. Take a look at Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is not that good of a quarterback. He's good, but he's not great. He's good because of what he's surrounded with.
Gee whiz, my goodness. Where is this defense?
Who is that?
Hodge.
Oh, that's Ferguson.
First and goal at the 5.
So let's say that the Cowboys lose in the wild card round. They lose today.
Well,
they fire Mike McCarthy. They fire Mike McCarthy. And then because McCarthy's gone, they get rid of Dak and they bring in Brady. Especially when you got Jerry Jones, who's willing to spend whatever he wants.
Yep. There you go. Now, Kamani said, what about Seattle?
That's not a good fit.
My gosh.
He's short. Seattle's not a good fit because Seattle would have to change everything they do on offense. Because that's one of the reasons why Wilson left is because Carroll wants to base the offense around the run and have the quarterback run. And you're not having a 47-year-old Brady running the ball. So Brady wouldn't be a good fit in Seattle.
All right. How about Houston Texans?
Emmitt Smith. I will say this. Emmitt Smith was a great running back. Is he the best running back of all time? No.
Terrell Davis.
Maybe.
Terrell Davis. Come on, you cannot.
No, I still got to go Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, or Walter Payton.
No. Based on what? None of them. Walter Payton didn't win a Super Bowl.
Based on the fact that Jim Brown, Barry Sanders had no offensive line.
But that was back in the day when they ran it 150 times a game.
Which means that the defense was keying in on the run.
I'm sorry, man. I can't go there. 2,000-yard season, Super Bowl MVP, league MVP.
Right, but we already had I'm not saying that Terrell Davis is not top 3. I just don't think he's the best of all time. Top 3, yes. Okay. Best of all time, probably not.
Okay. You have to categorize it within the time frame that they played. The game was different every single decade. It's totally different. It's different now than when Elway played.
This is the way that I look at it. I look at it as, could you take that running back and put him on a different team with a different offensive line and get the same results?
Well, that's like saying apples and oranges.
If you take Terrell Davis and you put him on the 1990s Lions, does he get the same yardage that he would on the Broncos?
But the offensive lines are different.
But if you took Barry Sanders or Jim Brown or Walter Payton and you put him on the Lions of the 90s, do you get the same results? Yes, because Barry Sanders was on the Lions in the 90s.
They're bigger guys than Terrell Davis. They're more.
Terrell Davis is not a small guy.
Fourth down.
Terrell Davis is not a small guy.
No, but I'm talking about a kind of a power runner. You're looking at like a John Riggins or a
Jim Brown
Barry
was
Sanders.
Massive. He would run over people.
That's what I'm saying.
Barry Sanders wouldn't. Barry Sanders was the complete opposite.
But he was quick. He had moves that would make your freaking pants
That's
fall
what I'm
off.
saying. You've got Barry Sanders and Jim Brown,
right,
who are arguably have the worst offensive lines in front of them of all time, and they were able to do that. I'm saying if you take Terrell Davis, keep him in the same scheme,
Oh,
same
man,
team.
touchdown.
If you take Terrell Davis and you keep him in the same scheme, same offense, but you switch the offensive lines, does Terrell Davis have the same amount of success?
No. Oh, I would have to agree with you. You're correct. I'm talking about stats. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. And that's where you bring Emmitt Smith into it. But what I'm saying is Emmitt Smith was great because of the offensive line he had in front of him. I'm saying the reason why Barry Sanders and Jim Brown are 1 and 2 is because they did it without an offensive line.
There you go. Come on.
You could have taken a bunch of wide receivers and put them at offensive line.
He missed it again.
Yeah, he did. They're going to fire him.
Beautiful.
You could have taken 5 wide receivers and replaced the offensive line with wide receivers, and you still would have gotten the same yards from Jim Brown and Barry Sanders.
Would you agree with those 5 players that Kamani said?
Sanders, Peyton, Falk, Davis, Brown. Is that in order?
Probably not.
I got to know if that's in order.
Probably not. But I'll tell you what, those are some Hall of Fame guys. Every one of them's in the Hall of Fame. Barry Sanders.
Because if it's me, it's Sanders, Brown, Davis, Peyton, Falk.
Wow. Are you putting Davis at 4th like he did?
3rd.
You said Sanders?
Sanders, Brown, Davis, Peyton,
Davis.
Falk.
Okay. 3rd. All right.
I would definitely say those are the. Yeah, I would definitely say those are the top 5. Although Marshall Falk, I never considered Marshall. So why Marshall Falk and not LaDainian Tomlinson?
Wow, that's a good one. In fact, LaDainian Tomlinson, didn't he break some type of record against the Broncos for most touchdowns scored in the game?
I'm pretty sure he's above Marshall Falk in the record, but I'd have to look. Don't quote me.
And I hate bringing that up because
well, and then there's if you're going to consider Terrell Davis, what about Gale Sayers?
Played the same amount of years as Terrell Davis, but didn't have anywhere near the accolades. I mean, no league MVP.
The only one that I'm debating on that list would be Marshall Falk. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just making sure that there's not any other runner that we're not considering on here.
Past, present, or just past?
Past, present. I don't think there's any current running backs. I mean, you could also throw Adrian Peterson in there too. Is he top 5? Probably not.
Hey, why don't you go back to Chuck Foreman of the Vikings?
Who?
The guy Chuck Foreman. What do you mean who? He was a beast for the Vikings, number 44. A beast. Now, granted, it was back in the day when they, did smash mouth football kind of thing more than they do now. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great players that have graced the sidelines of many teams.
Did Emmitt Smith have a 2,000-yard season? I don't think he did he?
Nope, not that I remember.
Okay,
I think he got close. I don't think he had 2,000 yards. I may be wrong. Come on, Tampa Bay, you can't freaking be. You can't. The only saving grace for Tampa Bay is that the Cowgirls have missed 2 extra points. So 2 touchdowns, they could have a 2-point lead.
Okay, so there's 8 different running backs that did it. So OJ was a 2,000-yard rusher. Ooh, Bo Jackson.
Ooh,
nice one.
Wife killer.
Eric Dickerson ran for 2,000. Barry Sanders ran for 2,000 behind a horrible offensive line. That's why he's number 1.
Yeah.
Terrell Davis did it.
Against
Jamal
the Dolphins.
Lewis did it.
Jamal Lewis, really?
Yeah, from the Ravens. Chris Johnson did it. Adrian Peterson did it.
Yeah, I remember Peterson, yeah.
Derrick Henry did it. Ooh, I didn't even think about Derrick Henry.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
When did Derrick Henry run for 2,000 yards? 2020. Oh, COVID year, that's why.
Why? Because there's no fans in the stands, and some of the players weren't playing. I don't know.
Now, I honestly believe that if Terrell Davis didn't get hurt and continued to play, he probably would have gotten another 2,000 yards.
Oh, change the score. Kamani says change the score. It's 12. Thanks, Kamani. That's because Kamani wants the Cowgirls.
Thanks for looking out for me.
No, it's because he wants Dallas to win.
I got so distracted because we're talking about running backs.
Because he wants the Cowboys. He wants Dallas.
I also think that if Barry Sanders had not retired early and had one better offensive lineman, he runs for another 2,000.
Sanders?
Yeah, that's why I've got Sanders at 1, Jim Brown at 2, Davis at 3. Because I think
why Jim Brown 2? He didn't do anything.
Are you kidding me?
He didn't put up the numbers that Terrell Davis did. League MVP, Super Bowl MVP. Oh, that's right. They didn't.
If I have to explain why Jim Brown is number 2, then you don't know football, and I'm gonna fire you.
I do know football. I'm going by stats. I'm going by.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay. Well, then
I'm going by. Because if you went by stats, obviously it's Emmitt Smith, right? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you put Emmitt Smith on the Cardinals after the Cowboys, he didn't do anything.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. He was a system running back with the Hall of Fame. Because I mean, like 4 of his offensive linemen are in the Hall of Fame. Oh.
Well, that's with most players. I mean, quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying.
Running backs are in the system.
That's what I'm saying. Jim Brown's offensive line is not in the Hall of Fame. None of Barry Sanders' offensive linemen's in the Hall of Fame. I don't think there's anybody on the Broncos from the offensive line for Davis that's in the Hall of Fame yet.
Zimmerman.
I thought he was before that. Because Tom Nalen was the center.
You're right. That was before.
Is Tom Nalen in? I don't think he's in.
I don't. Go. Oh man, 3rd and now.
Does anybody know? Is Tom Nalen in the Hall of Fame? I go by Tom. See, so do I. That's why I'm saying like Jim Brown, like basically revolutionized running backs the way that they are now. And then you've got Barry Sanders, who honestly like. Barry Sanders, it's like Barry Sanders and Michael Jordan. Barry Sanders is the Michael Jordan of football.
Oh, it says right here. In the Hall of Fame for Canton in 2022 last year, Tom Nalen was snubbed by the Hall of Fame voters. So he's not in.
Wait, was Zimmerman a guard?
Yes. Gary Zimmerman. He is in the Hall of Fame. I know Gary Zimmerman's in the Hall of Fame.
So,
dang it.
Yeah, well, and that's why it's so tough to rank. And it's the same thing with quarterbacks. That's why it's so hard to rank running backs, is because like you've got running backs that got all these stats, but they ran behind Hall of Fame offensive lines. And then you've got these other guys like Walter Payton, Jim Brown, Barry Sanders that didn't have Hall of Fame lines. Mm-hmm. That's why who's the freaking quarterback for the Bears in the 80s? McMahon. That's why McMahon got hit so much, because his offensive line wasn't any good, but Walter Payton still got his yards. So that's why it's hard. Oh, he was a tackle. That's why it's so hard to figure out who, like, number 1 is easy. It's Barry Sanders. But then you got 2 through 5 is hard, because you got like Walter Payton, you've got Terrell Davis, you've got freaking Bo Jackson could be in there. You've got Jim Brown, Marshall Faulk, Terrell Davis, like all these running backs, Emmitt Smith, where it's like, all right, what do we do with him?
I'm glad you didn't mention the killer's name.
No, he's not in there.
Good.
Maybe top 10, but that's just football stat wise.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't
but then there's quarterbacks, right? Like, who's the greatest quarterback of all time? Is it really that much?
You have you have to put those in categories. Seriously, you can't though. You have to.
How
can you? Okay, you go back to people like Sammy Baugh. That the way the game was played back then is
Scuba
totally
Steve,
different.
I don't like to laugh
now.
at people, but I'm going to laugh at that comment.
Why?
Elway's not number one. Not even close.
Sure is.
No.
Over Kelly and Marino? How many Super Bowls did Marino win? Oh, yeah.
Dude,
that's right.
no.
How about Kelly?
If you're talking about the greatest,
2.
You don't go by Super Bowl wins.
This guy does.
You can't go by, okay, then Tom Brady's first, no matter what.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who's 2?
Who's 2 would be, in my opinion, after Tom Brady, would probably who's won 3. Hello? Oh, that's
hello.
That's George Payton calling me. I have to get this. Hello, George? Yeah, sorry, I'm right in the middle of a show. I'll get back to you in just a second. Thank you.
You're dumb.
Sorry, he understood. He said, okay.
Because I got to say, like, Elway's not in my top 5.
Why not? Not in your top 5?
No, he's not.
Based on what?
Based on who I think is a better quarterback.
I don't understand it, man. Look at the comebacks he had against Cleveland.
It's not about
the game against Houston.
That's why I think. No, because that doesn't make any sense. Because you have a lot of Hall of Fame worthy players that never won a Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean that their stats are diminished because they didn't win a Super Bowl.
I'm not saying
you could be look at Barry Sanders, greatest running back of all time, never won a Super Bowl. Why? Because his team was awful. He was the only bright spot on that team.
Okay, I'm not taking that away from him. But his own accomplishments. What I'm saying is, you're talking about greatest quarterback. It has to be Tom Brady for what he's accomplished.
Yeah, Tom Brady's number 1.
Elway number 2.
Elway's not number 2 because Peyton Manning's better than John Elway.
They both won 2.
It doesn't matter because Bill, think of this. Think about this. When Peyton Manning broke the record for most of, or was it Peyton Manning? No, it was Drew Brees before that. Before Peyton Manning broke Drew Brees' record for most passing yards in the season, who had the record before Brees?
Peyton Manning?
No.
Who?
Dan Marino.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So you have guys within the last 6-7 years that broke a record from the 1980s quarterback.
Right, because they didn't throw as much in the 80s, dude.
You just made my point.
Okay, go on.
Dan Marino threw for over 5,000 yards in the 80s.
Okay.
And it took 30 years for a quarterback to break it.
Right.
That's why Marino is better than John Elway. It doesn't matter about the Super Bowls.
All right. Okay. I mean,
so I would say easily Joe Montana is 2.
Wow.
Okay. And then I would go Peyton Manning.
See, you're going in a completely different direction because you're looking at.
Yeah, and Peyton won 2 with 2 different teams. So eat it, Bill. So how is Elway better than Peyton?
Because Elway went back to back. Elway went back to back.
Peyton's got all the records. So on top of 2 Super Bowls, he's got all the he had all the quarterbacking records until Tom Brady. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that Elway was not a Hall of Fame worthy quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. He is, but he's not top 5.
Okay. Ray makes a great point. Hall of Fame guys got into the Hall of Fame because they impacted the game and the way it is and was played.
Yeah, not so much Super Bowls, but what they did that affected the game. That's why you got to throw what's his name? Johnny Unitas. Johnny Unitas has got to be in your top 5.
You're throwing him out?
No, he has to be in your top 5.
Oh, okay. Roger Staubach?
So he's 4.
Roger Staubach?
No, I think 5 is Marino.
Sonny Jurgensen?
Marino.
Just saying. Just throwing out some
old school names. For me, it would be Brady.
Oh,
Montana.
there you go. There you go.
Nah.
Oh,
He revolutionized the game when it came to interceptions.
Ooh.
But for me,
that was bad.
and I want to hear your top 5, but this is mine. Tom Brady. Joe
Are you
Montana.
asking me? Are you asking me? Yes. Asking chat.
This is my top 5. And then I want to hear everybody else's. Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Johnny Unitas, Dan Marino. That's my top 5.
Whoa, look at that name.
I would say 6 goes to Elway.
Look at Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw was Terry Bradshaw won 4 Super Bowls because of who he's surrounded by, not necessarily because of him. He's a great quarterback. But you take out Franco Harris and he doesn't win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that you could say that about any team.
Yeah.
But,
boom, eat it, Bill.
What? We didn't win the 2 Super Bowls until of course we didn't. I'm not saying that we
So that means that he lost 3.
Okay, that's fine. But
so that's what we're saying. Like, you can't just base it on Super Bowls. You have to add more into it.
Okay. Let me ask you, of all the quarterbacks that's been there, what?
Dude, you've got, is that in order? You've got Marino above Manning? Brady, Montana, Marino, Manning, Kelly.
Which Manning? Eli or Peyton?
Eli's not even in the conversation.
Okay. Jim Kelly? Yeah, that's a good one. He went to 4 straight Super Bowls, lost all 4, but he went to 4.
Elway, Young, Steve Young.
Steve Young?
I don't know. It's the Marino Manning thing that's getting me. And I'm not saying you're wrong.
Wow.
I get it, though.
Sorry, guys.
This is my thing. Like, what if you took Dan Marino out of Miami and put him on? I'm trying to think of a team that was decent but like didn't win a Super Bowl.
Cleveland?
No, because Cleveland sucked.
No, because Denver always faced it in the championship games. They were decent.
What if you had Marino on the Jags when they first became a team? You're looking at least 2 Super Bowls right there.
You think so?
You don't?
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think that if Dan Marino is on the Jags in '96, Jags take the Super Bowl.
Well, that was the year that they beat the Broncos in the playoffs. Yeah, I would have to agree.
I also think because the Jags were, shoot, you could even put Dan Marino on the Vikings in the late '90s, and he wins 2 Super Bowls.
Good. Incomplete. Cincinnati.
Yeah, put him on Cincinnati. Put Marino on Cincinnati in the '90s. Good God.
Oh, with Chris Collinsworth, the receiver? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because, and that's the one thing that bugs me about when people count out Marino's. Like, look at who he was working with. Like, name one other person on that team.
Yeah. I can't. Other than...
yeah. You're like, Larry Zonka. No, that was 70s. That's the wrong era.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Zonka, Kick, and Morris were all in the 70s. You're right.
Yep.
Boy, what a running back duel that was, or trifecta was, huh? Zonka, Kick, and Morris. Oh my gosh! No wonder they went. No wonder they went 14-0.
Who was that Hall of Fame running back in Cincinnati in the late '80s, early '90s?
Oh,
there was the Icky Shuffle, but not
Icky
that guy.
Shuffle. Not okay. That's what I was thinking of. Icky Woods. Not Icky Woods.
There's Icky. There was another one. Wasn't there one after that?
I don't recall.
Or was there one before that?
I do recall.
Because like the.
Come on, get him.
The Icky Shuffle would have been early '90s.
Oh no!
First down.
No! Dang it!
Because the Icky Shuffle would have been early 90s. So who was in the 80s?
For Cincinnati. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Hey!
Incomplete.
I thought they were going to flag him for passing.
I'm glad they didn't.
Ba, 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 ba.
If Joe, I don't get this one. Joe who? Joe Montana?
Montana.
So if Joe was not on 49, I think Marino could have won it with. I don't know if Marino would have gone for 49. What do you think?
When was Joe Montana drafted?
Well, you have to think about Montana, but after him was Steve Young, and they weren't going to get rid of Steve Young.
They drafted Steve Young after Marino and Elway. So when was Joe Montana drafted? Early, was it 82?
I know it was in the 80s.
Because Elway's class was
83.
83.
Yep.
So when the heck was Montana drafted?
1 year before or 1 year after?
Because
they're right there. They're right there.
The Niners won in the 80s and the Cowboys won in the 90s. So
True.
Montana, was he drafted in the 80s?
He had to have been. Because they played against each other and they're about the same age at the time.
See, this is why you watch this show. So we can have
come on.
This is why we have you guys watch the show so that you guys can Google search everything that we're trying to figure out.
I can't believe this game is turning
so
into a
Icky Woods was 88 to 91.
Good God.
Harold Green was 90 to 95. That's the one I was looking at.
I can't believe this game. I really can't believe this game. Tampa Bay looks like crap. Their defense can't do nothing. Their offense looks like garbage. What the heck? It's like pitch and catch. It's like throw the ball. I got it.
James Brooks. That's who I was looking for.
James Brooks.
James Brooks was the Bengals running back from 84 to 91 before Icky Woods took over.
I remember him, but I don't remember him as a household name.
Yeah, he's one of the top 3 Bengals running backs of all time.
Wow.
Oh, and in that list of best running backs of all time, what about Corey Dillon? Forgot about that name.
From who?
Corey Dillon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I put him in the same category. Get him. Hit him hard. Oh, my gosh.
I did not see this game going this way.
I bet they go for 2.
I bet they do too.
To make it 20.
Nah, they're going to kick it.
Oh, my gosh, man. This is insane. I cannot believe this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing like they don't give a heck. Like they don't even want to win this game. This is ridiculous. There's 3 guys around him, but they're all behind him.
No, there they go.
Miss it.
Good Lord.
He missed it again.
How does that happen?
He missed 2 to the right, and this one he just shanks it hard left.
Jerry Jones is like, what in God's name is going on right now?
Sorry, guys, I hit the microphone. Oh, my gosh, this is beautiful.
Dude, I don't get it.
I love it. That's the only thing I love about this game so far is the fact
well,
that
and this is the thing, like Brett Maher is like a great kicker. I don't get it, man.
I'm sorry, guys, but I gotta laugh at something because I'm hating this game because I hate the Cowboys with a passion. I don't want them to win. That's the Chargers are the first team that I absolutely detest from the bottom pit of my gut. And then the next one's the Cowboys. And I'm loving seeing him miss 3 extra points because Now, all they got to do is get 21, and they're up by 3. I know.
Montana was drafted in 79.
That's what Kamani just said.
Well, excuse me. I was looking at my phone.
See, if you pay attention, if you pay attention to the people in the chat, you get your answer.
I was waiting for you to stop talking. So I guess they're doing the Manning cast tonight, and apparently Peyton Manning is very, very angry that the kicker keeps missing.
Why? He likes the Cowgirls?
Because like, wouldn't you be angry if you were the starting quarterback and you're trying to win a playoff game and your kicker keeps missing?
Yeah, but he ain't playing.
It doesn't matter. Like, the emotions are still there.
I know.
Would you imagine having Peyton Manning mad at you?
No, I wouldn't want that.
Dude, you got Jerry Jones and Peyton Manning mad at you. Just go hide.
Yeah, I get it because I'm emotional too. I mean, Tampa Bay is not even on the top 10 of my favorite NFC teams. But I can't stand the Cowboys, so of course I don't want the Cowboys to win. So that's why that's why I'm passionate about
No.
the game. Yes.
You are not allowed to leave, Ray.
Ray, where you going, man? You're going to grab some chicken wings?
We're going to sit here in silence until he comes back.
No, we're not. Because I cannot be that quiet that long. You know that. I know you can, but I can't. Anyways, guys, so appreciate your question. Look at Madunga's going to just sit there and not say anything until Ray comes back.
I can't do that. He's gone for like an hour.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Kickoff goes into the end zone. There's 27 seconds. It wouldn't even
surprise me if the kicker can't even hit the end zone on a kickoff right now.
He missed one right,
and it's not like he missed them all one way.
And then he missed the other one.
He missed 2 right, 1 left.
Right, and then he tried to correct and went way left.
Dude, it looked like he tried to pooch kick it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Couldn't happen to a better freaking team, except unless it happened to the freaking Chargers. So 27 seconds left, 25-yard line, Tampa Bay. Brady back to pass, dumps it off.
It's too hot in his room. I can't sit here with a sweatshirt on.
Why not?
It's hot. You ever like tuck in your shirt and then like you take your sweater off, then you got to untuck it?
What's the purple shirt say? Vikings all the way, or what does it say?
Arlington Newcastle Elementary Band.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's why
I told you when we were doing the Vikings game that I had purple, because my kids' school colors are purple.
Got it. So is that the?
Too bad my kids' school colors aren't orange and blue. I'd be set.
Yeah, you'd be set. So is that the size? Not the size actually, but I mean the design of the state.
It's the Capitol building, I think.
No, the whole design, outside all the way around.
Yes, that is what the state looks like.
Cool. Nice. Good look, man. Well, we got 14 seconds till we get to halftime. And I'll tell you what, Tampa Bay better make some serious adjustments at halftime, because I don't want to sit there and talk about.
There is a massive difference between Raheem Morris led. Wait, who's running the team right now? Is it Raheem Morris? No, who's the head coach of the?
Call timeout! Call timeout!
Who's the head coach of the Bucs? Is it Morris?
Raheem Morris? No, I think he's a coordinator, isn't he?
Who's the head coach?
I'll look it up.
Before Super Bowl 57, the NFL's brightest stars will be recognized for the best plays and moments from the 2022 season.
Because you can definitely tell that there's a drop-off between the coach now and Bruce Arians.
Oh, Bruce Arians is not good, so that's true.
No, Bruce Arians is a consultant right now, I guess. Dan Quinn, the next Broncos head coach. Todd Bowles, there you go.
Yeah, Todd Bowles just came up.
Todd Bowles.
Yep.
Which is So Todd Bowles was the defensive coordinator last year. And you can definitely tell that Todd Bowles is head coach. There's a big drop-off offensively and defensively than when Bruce Arians was the head coach. Running the offense, Bowles run the defense.
Absolutely.
I wonder if the Bucs are going to go after a new coach.
Oh, where was that throw, Brady?
That?
He is wide open, and he overthrows it by 5 yards.
Wait, I thought Russell Wilson wasn't playing today.
Oh, dude, that is wrong. No. That's not a Russell Wilson thing. That's a Drew Lock thing. You got the wrong quarterback.
We don't say that name.
Well, we do when it makes that bad of a pass.
That name is simple.
Get out, throw it.
Whee! What was that?
Oh, he got hit at the throat. Halftime.
Uh-oh.
Good. I hope Micah Parsons is hurt.
Whoa.
Good. I hope he's hurt. Hope he don't come back. Take Prescott out with you.
Wow.
Wow, what?
He's like, I hope he's hurt.
Well, come on, man. I mean, everybody knows I'm Hitman Bill, according to Kamani.
All right, we're going to take a quick break while it's halftime before we get, what's his name? Zach Seeger's in here. We're going to wait and see when he gets in here, and then we'll jump back in. So we'll see you in a minute.
Hey, check it. Hey, check it. Put the place up. Put the place up, yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo, I'm a chaser. Face up, now I feel a little major. Link up and out, ego, I'm a taker. Shaker, yeah, she was a ball shaker. She shake me out that door to no place. Damn, why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Something like the road when we came out there, we settled facts like the Vinci. Smile like it was the last Christmas, hey. Put the place up, yeah, we know what we made of. Can't get enough of you, boo, I'm a chaser. Face up, now I feel a little major. Link up and out, ego, I'm a taker. Shaker, yeah, she was a ball shaker. She shake me out that door to no place. Damn, why you doing all that? Thought you was my wife, but you stabbed me in the back. Sounding like the road when we came out there, we settled facts like the Vinci. I'm breaking codes, I'm breaking backs, come on. Get your ass up if you're slipping.
Well, as you can see, Zach Seegers is not here yet. What a jerk. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we are expecting him at any minute. I sent the link. We'll see if he jumps on. He's a busy guy. So in the meantime, we will discuss what's going on in football land right now. So we'll recap what we did yesterday and Saturday's playoff games. So obviously right now you got the Cowboys up 18-0 over the Bucs. The 49ers beat the Seattle Seahawks 41-23. Jacksonville pulls off one of the best comebacks of all time. 31-30 over the Chargers.
Made my season.
The Bills had a great game with the Dolphins, 34-31.
That was crazy.
Giants pull off, I would say, the upset over the Vikings.
It was an upset, absolutely.
And the Bengals beat the Ravens 24-17. So that means going forward, what are we looking at? We're looking at
Kansas City had Jacksonville at home.
So Kansas City's got Jacksonville. Buffalo has
Cincinnati.
Yep, Buffalo, Cincinnati. That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, I think we should do that one, man.
The Eagles have the Giants and the Niners. I'm going to assume that the Niners are going to have the Cowboys.
No, they're not.
But the Niners are going to have whoever wins this game.
They're going to have Tampa Bay. Because Tampa Bay is going to come back.
Humanitarian bill. That's exactly what.
Well, yeah, because I said probably something about Hitman or whatever.
I can't. I have to.
Scuba Steve, damn you!
I can't. It's so good. It wasn't even Scuba Steve who said it.
I know. Oh my gosh.
So
and I don't think there's anybody in the chat that doesn't understand that Kamani's nickname.
All right. So let's jump into this Broncos coaching thing, right? So everybody had their favorites going into the offseason. We heard at least 4, maybe 5. Okay, so there's 2 big names and then 3 others. So you got Jim Harbaugh and Sean Payton are like the 2 elites, I guess, quotes. And then you've got like Dan Quinn, Jim Caldwell, and D'Amico Ryans, I would say, are the next 3. Jim Harbaugh is officially staying at Michigan.
Thank goodness.
He's not going to be leaving.
Good.
So now it sounds like everyone is going either Sean Payton or Dan Quinn. For me, I think it depends on how much you have to give up for Sean Payton. Like, is a first-round pick worth Sean Payton? Maybe. Because then basically it's like, if you look at it, we got the first-round pick for Bradley Chubb. So basically you're trading Bradley Chubb for Sean Payton. I suppose I can live with that. But then the question is there anything that they want on top of that? Because I'm going to assume they're going to want a first and maybe a couple 3s, and that's too much.
Yep.
My other question is, Payton was with the Saints for, 13 seasons? And then he just kind of – and maybe this is reading into or buying into what the media is saying or whatever, but it does seem like Payton just kind of quit on the Saints, right? Like, didn't like the direction it was going, so he left. And that terrifies me because when I look at a head coach for the Broncos, I want a coach that's willing to give up everything to coach the Denver Broncos. I want a coach that is turning down offers and only saying yes to the Broncos. I want a coach that's basing everything they do around being the next head coach of the Broncos. That's what I want. For me, that's Dan Quinn. Now, I also like the idea of Jim Caldwell. So for me, I think it's Caldwell. Well, no. Quinn, no. Caldwell, Quinn, Payton. And I go back and forth because of who potential coordinators are. I don't think we need a world-beating offensive head coach to save Russell Wilson. I don't think he's as bad as everyone thinks he is. I think that he was in a bad system with a bad coach who wasn't coaching him, and that's what you saw. I think that Dan Quinn with Brian Schottenheimer and Evero would be fantastic, but I also think that Jim Caldwell with Frank Reich and Evero would be just as good, if not better. So I'm torn between those two. I'm not saying Sean Payton's not a great head coach. He just terrifies me on if he's going to stay and actually see this thing through.
Well, that's my problem. Is you look at what he did to the New Orleans Saints was absolutely highway robbery, in my opinion. You don't do that. You just don't walk out on the team as the leader. I mean, that'd be like the owner of the Broncos just walk away and go, see ya. I mean, I know that Sean Payton wasn't the owner of the Saints, but he was the leader. He was the leader of that team. And when you do something like that, how can I trust him? He comes to Denver and he goes, oh, yeah, I'm going to sign a 3-year contract, and he walks away in 2 years? No, I don't want that. Absolutely not. So I'm glad Harbaugh is not coming to Denver. Thank goodness he's not coming. I don't want that attitude. I don't want that arrogance. I don't want that in-your-face kind of attitude. And people say, oh, well, maybe that's what the Broncos need. No, it's not what the Broncos need. Wilson would not put up with that. They didn't put up with it in Seattle with Pete Carroll. Dang sure ain't going to put up with Harbaugh. Okay? Now, I don't want Peyton because I can't trust him. I want somebody who is dedicated to be a Broncos head coach, who wants to win, who wants to turn around this organization and make it into what it was back in the 80s, back in the 90s, back in 2015. I want this head coach to be that determined. We had Mike Shanahan for years. Because why? Because he believed in this team. He believed in the ownership. And that's what I want with the new head coach. I don't want a Sean Payton who's going to turn away and just say, well, you know what? Things aren't working well, so I'm leaving. No. Take your high horse and go somewhere else. Stay on the freaking, halftime show or whatever you're doing. Don't come to Denver because I don't want you and I don't trust you. Plain and simple.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, okay, now don't get me wrong. I will support any coach that comes to Denver. Just because I have my rankings and my feelings of who I want to be coached doesn't mean I don't support whoever comes. Like if it's Peyton, I'm 100% in. If it's Quinn, I'm 100% in. Caldwell, 100% in. It doesn't matter. I will support whatever coach is there. I don't know, man.
Did you support Hackett?
I always, yeah, of course.
Okay.
I supported Fangio and Joseph too.
Okay.
I will always support a head coach until they prove me wrong.
Well, Hackett proved you wrong after game 1.
Yes, he did. And so Arizona's talking to Vance Joseph right now about the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be okay with that. Because again, I don't think Vance Joseph was a bad coach. I think he was a first-time coach that was being overruled by somebody else higher up in the food chain than he was. He didn't really have any say.
Probably not ever. What am I saying? Ellis. Probably
Nope.
Ellis. No?
One down.
Elway?
Ding.
Really?
Yeah, so it came out that during Vance Joseph's tenure as coach, he didn't have say in anything. Elway made all the calls.
What?
Yeah.
Then why have a head coach?
Exactly. So while Vance Joseph was, we can't sit here and say that he was a good coach because he definitely didn't have the team prepared at times and different things like that. But when it comes to being able to install your philosophy, your scheme, being able to install yourself as head coach, he didn't really have that opportunity because Elway was making all the decisions. And you know what? I only have one response to you, good sir.
Scoop and Steve, damn you!
Ha! I've got that whenever I want it.
Come on in. Let me ask you a question. Why don't you want Quinn? You heard why I didn't want Harbaugh and why I don't want Sean Payton. Why don't you want Dan Quinn?
Now I'm going to reiterate. I'll say it a little bit of a different way. I will support whatever coach, but at the same time, I'm not saying that I don't want a coach here. I'm saying that I would rather have this person over this person. I'm not saying I don't want Sean Payton. I'm not saying that I don't want Dan Quinn. I'm not saying that I don't want.
Wow.
He sucked as a coach. Joseph?
Wow.
I'll go with that. I definitely don't think he was ready to be a head coach.
Wow.
But all I'm saying is not all of the blame goes on Joseph. A lot of the blame goes on Elway as well.
Well, that's very true.
It's like, for example, you look at Dan Quinn, right? And you look at Dan Quinn's resume, right? You can't look. They're playing replays, Bill.
No, they're not. I'm already on the game.
You can't look at.
Joseph's more of a defensive coach.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. So you can't look at. Ooh, the Manning cast. I'm gonna watch that.
Oh, where was the pass interference?
So you can't look at Dan Quinn's resume as the head coach of the Falcons without taking into account he had horrible personnel. He had an awful front office. Like, you have to look at the whole picture. Same thing with Vance Joseph, right? Like, when Vance Joseph was coach, he didn't have a great front office. He wasn't surrounded by a lot of good players, but at the same time, he wasn't ready to be head coach.
Incomplete. Third and four.
Oh, my goodness.
Am I ahead of you again?
No, I think I'm ahead of you because they almost blocked that punt.
Oh, you're way ahead of me.
I went to the Manning cast.
How'd you? Oh, that's why. Why do you do that, man?
Because I was behind you, so I switched to a different one.
Yeah, well, now you're way ahead.
Hold on. What channel are you on? ESPN?
Yeah. Oh, it's blocked. We're almost blocked. Good. Out to 15. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20-yard line. The Cowgirls have the ball at the 20-yard line. Come on, defense. Get an interception, a fumble. Knock Prescott to the ground. Take him out, man. Dang.
Dadgummit.
Tired of seeing these stupid Cowboys.
Okay, here we go. Quinn, more of a defensive coach to me. Okay. Ray says Quinn is the head coach to make me worried every game would end with a defensive collapse.
Yep. I agree.
Man, I don't know.
I mean, look at the Super Bowl when they lost to the freaking Patriots. Come on, man. How's that?
Okay, but granted, you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple things with that one. One, the offense didn't score any points in the second half either, so you can't just put it on the defense. Two,
that's because
you're going against Tom Brady, like the greatest quarterback of all time.
Then why don't you play? My whole thing is when people like it happened to the Colts when the Vikings were down 33-0. It happened to the Chargers when Jacksonville was down 27-0. What happens is the teams get that big a lead, they just go, okay, let's just play prevent, let's just relax. You can't do that with any NFL quarterback, let alone Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You got to keep playing what got you those points. Don't play scared. That's with any sporting team or any sporting event. You cannot play scared. You play scared. What?
Seegers just messaged me. He was eating and got distracted. You jerk. No,
tell him to come on now. Tell him to come on.
I did. Okay, so look at it this way. And this goes back to the front office and the personnel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you look at the Atlanta Falcons, they did not have a lot of pieces around Matt Ryan, right? And at the time, Matt Ryan was playing well, but when you look at the Falcons, they didn't have a lot of good players. So when you actually look at it, Quinn and Shanahan brought a Falcons team to the Super Bowl that probably shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl in the first place.
Okay.
So are there epic collapses sometimes? Yeah, it happens. Like I don't know what you want me to say. Like,
I mean, that was
right, but look at Dan Quinn's other defenses. Tell me when you can remember a comeback like that. Oh, good. Okay, mute your thing.
Okay.
It's about time.
I am so sorry, Mike. I was cooking dinner and I lost track of time entirely. I am so sorry, Mike. I'm so sorry, Bill, as well. Love the Avs gear, by the way. How about them Avs getting back on the right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, nice to meet you, Zach.
Nice to meet you as well.
Privilege.
This is Bill. Got Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, any old person disease you can think of, he's got it.
I don't have that.
Okay, so we've been sitting here talking potential coaches for the Broncos, right? So Jim Harbaugh's out. And I know you're a Dan Quinn hater. So we'll
I mean, I'm not a Dan Quinn hater. I just think like relative to the resumes of almost every other candidate, his is inferior.
So who do you want to see
every other candidate? But there's really only one other candidate that like has anything over Dan Quinn, and that would be Peyton. But at the same time, how much are we giving up for Peyton?
I mean,
you can't tell me it's one first.
Here's how I view it. Here's how I'd view it. Coaching's a little less quantifiable, but to me, that argument sounds like, let's pretend the Russell Wilson trade never happened. If like Josh Allen was out on the market, or maybe not Josh Allen, maybe that's a little rich, but like Joe Burrow was out on the market, and Tua Tagovailoa was depending on your cup of tea. Hey, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know. I'll go Trevor Lawrence because I think he's up and coming, but maybe not quite there. Trevor Lawrence is out on the market, and Tua is out on the market. And you're like, yeah, well, we're giving up a lot more for Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, but it's Trevor Lawrence and the other guy's Tua. So it's, it's kind of warranted that the other guy's more. And outside of coach and outside of ownership, which obviously you're not trading for, nothing's more valuable than coaching. Like, look at hit rates of 20 some picks in the first round, this 49ers pick. Also, it could end up being 31 with how they're playing right now. Like it could be Paxton Lynch for all we know.
No,
it could be. Man, I'm spacing. Who was Tennessee tackle who didn't even play in the NFL? Who was here for?
I know who you're talking about.
But first round pick. Like that's another first round pick. It doesn't happen all that. Like Caleb Farley, another Tennessee Titans first round pick in the 20s, and that's a team that was known for having success with their early draft picks. Like it's just the pick is nice, and I understand. Like ideally, I don't want to give up that pick either. I'm of the position that the Broncos should move on from Russell Wilson because they need to rebuild and they need as many picks as possible. I understand the value of that draft pick. However, outside of quarterback, it's the most valuable addition you can make. And Sean Payton's an amazing head coach. If during the interview process, you feel confident that he's not just going to go, this sucks, I'm out after 1 year or 2 years. If you get the impression that he's here to stay and wants to build things up and understands it might be a build-up process, then I'd be all in on trading that capital for Peyton. Now, it requires that interview, and that's something we all on the outside can't have. So I understand why people on the outside might be hesitant. But if I have that interview and I feel confident he's in it for at least 2 seasons, I'd be happy trading the draft capital, honestly.
Sorry,
Isaiah
Zach.
Wilson is that tackle you're talking about.
Thank you very much.
I was going to say, sorry, Zach, I totally disagree. I mean, not in
I respect it.
Go figure.
Not in your not in your take, but in the fact that Sean Payton walked away from the Saints when he had that contract in place. I just don't trust him to not do that against the Broncos. And that's where I'm totally concerned.
I think it's a fair concern, and I think it's the big concern with Sean Payton. I guess, and Jim Harbaugh, I know he's back at Michigan now, but the big concern with him was maybe he wears people thin after 3-4 years. Maybe he's got too harsh a personality. If the problems start after the guy is a good head coach, that gives him a huge leg up on every other Broncos candidate in my book, because every other Broncos candidate has the question, are they a good head coach or not? True. And that includes Dan Quinn. Without Kyle Shanahan, I'll pull up the numbers for you guys really quick. I'll make sure I get my stats backing up. But he's either a 300 or a 400 winning percentage coach. Like he's just, I understand the concern with Sean Payton, and it could go bad. And I understand, especially after the Russell Wilson gamble and that going bad.
Ooh, you don't like that? You don't like Russell Wilson on the Broncos?
No,
I
mean,
let's open that can of worms.
You don't like that?
Why would I at this point?
It wasn't Wilson's fault. It was Hackett's fault. Look what happened in the last 2 games. We scored 24 points and 31.
The last 2 games, I think
Get him, Zach.
We saw half a strong Russell Wilson performance and half a really not strong Russell Wilson performance. Yeah. If you look at the first half of the Chiefs game and the first half, this is objective, matter of record stuff.
Sure.
If you look at the Chiefs game and you look at the Chargers game, he has 30 dropbacks in the first half and 90 yards. That's 3 yards per dropback. 5 yards per dropback is something called the Blaine Gabbert zone, nicknamed after Blaine Gabbert while he was becoming a notorious draft bust in the early 2010s. That's 5 yards per attempt. Russell Wilson was half of that for half of the glorified post-Hackett era. Now, in the second half, he was awesome. I'm not going to even try and knock that. It was sweet. But I think it's an oversimplification to say it was all Hackett. Hackett was a big problem, and it was removed. You removed one of the big old tumors, but there are several still there. And I think Russell Wilson's one of them. Even if you're a believer and don't think he's declined all that much and everything, Russell Wilson at his prime would struggle with the construct of the modern NFL. The way modern NFL defenses play the quarterback position is they force you to be consistent down to down with these conservative shell defenses that force you to nickel dime them underneath. They want you to have 10 good plays instead of a couple explosives that carry your drive. And then the other thing with that is they want you to work the short to intermediate part of the field where things are crowded. Here's the problem for Russell Wilson. Never been able to work that short to intermediate part of the field. Never been able to nickel and dime. Always has been, even again, at his best, at his elite prime, a high variance quarterback. That's why Pete Carroll would minimize his passing attempts. He has a lot of sub 200 passing yard games, but he was hyper efficient because they would use the run to set up the pass and use the pass in high leverage, well set up situations. Defenses are forcing you out of that box now. You don't have those easy answers now. I think there's a path to them if you build up a really awesome offense and run game and stuff that's good at every level. Like, I think Russ can be a successful NFL quarterback, but I think at this point in his career, he's a product of his system rather than a difference maker, something that's creating the success of the system around him. And that's fine if you're not paying him $50+ million a year. And the Broncos are paying him $50+ million a year, which is cool when you have Patrick Mahomes and he can go, it's fine, we don't have Tyreek Hill. I can make the offense number one anyways. But when we're having these Russell Wilson conversations like, well, he just needs a better offensive line. Well, he needs more weapons. The running backs were down. He needs better running backs. And some of it was extreme because of injury. But guess what happens when you have a $50 million contract hit, which is coming down the pipeline? The talent around you gets worse. And Russell Wilson was real reliant on the talent around him.
So this is my question then. We've got basically 4 candidates left, at least potential possible candidates. You've got Sean Payton, you've got Dan Quinn. I think you throw Caldwell in there and D'Amico Ryans. I think there's probably only 2 that are actually going to be in the running unless something weird happens. But you look at Sean Payton, you look at Dan Quinn. Let's take those 2 as the front runners. Which one fits Russell Wilson better, or could bring in a coordinator that fits Russell Wilson better? Because you can look at the Broncos and say that you're at least going to have Russell Wilson for the next. He missed it again. He missed another extra point.
No way.
He missed another?
He missed another one.
You're ahead of me.
I'm away from my TV to talk to you.
You're ahead of me.
He missed it again.
Let's see.
Sorry, hold on. I'll
How did they even allow him to take? No, you're fine. How did they even allow him to take?
He did miss another one.
He shanked it right again.
I'm sorry. If my kicker's 0 for 3 on extra points, I'm not
he
allowed to attempt
He
a
bounced it
four.
off the top of the right upright.
Oh man, that's historic yips.
Oh,
No, everyone's
0 for
talking about how
4.
McPherson's having a bad season, which he is, and he has 4 misses on the season. That's insane.
Yeah, he's got 4. Just good lord.
In the regular season, and then he had his 5th in the playoff.
You know what? You know what?
That's
You know
wild.
what's funny? You know what's funny
Jesus.
is this entire playoffs has had some weird things happen.
I even
mean, you
had
had
the
a
score. I even had
27-0
24 to
comeback.
nothing down before he kicked it because I assumed he was going to miss it.
24-0. What a weird path to 24-0.
Ridiculous. But you
He
look,
has
you
to
look
be
at Dan
snake
Quinn,
bit, man.
you look at Sean Payton, and you would assume that either coach is going to be into the Broncos because of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is going to be one.
I don't assume that.
Russell Wilson is going to be one of the pieces that they're going to be building around.
I don't assume.
You
that
don't
in
think
the
so at all?
slightest. I don't assume that in the slightest. I don't assume. I assume that for Dan Quinn because you have to look at Dan Quinn's deep and clear friendship ties with George Payton. George Payton is strongly tied to Russell Wilson. As many cap analysts have laid out, the one big reason you don't get rid of Russell Wilson is because, and I'm talking when I say big cap analysts, I'm talking about Spotrac or Spot Rack, I don't know how to pronounce it, and Over the Cap. They wrote their articles on moving on from Russell Wilson, and they say the reason you don't move on from Russell Wilson is because no GM will pay that amount of money to make one of their mistakes go away. Which is a good reason to save one's job, but not a good reason. That doesn't justify it as the best path for the Denver Broncos. It justifies it as the best path for George Payton. If you want to think those two are one and the same, fair play. But that is a justification on the fact that it's good for George Payton's job, not good for the Denver Broncos. If you believe George Payton keeping his job is what's best for the Denver Broncos, fine, but that takes a second leap. That's not directly tied to the Russell Wilson thing. I think it would be foolish and a compounding of errors to base a huge decision like head coach on Russell Wilson when he proved to be one of the bigger problems with the team this year. I mean, you see plays where it's drawn up around him, like even in the Chiefs game, this last game, or not Chiefs, Chargers game, week 18, where post Hackett, everything's rolling. One of his best games. There's a well-designed play where he overshoots Alberto. He was one of it's his least accurate season by a mile. Advanced analytics have him as a below average quarterback in terms of accuracy. When if you look at the decade of his career that preceded this one, he's the most accurate quarterback in the entire NFL. That's a shocking and frankly scary drop-off.
Where does that come from, do you think, Zach? You think that comes from play calling, head coach? You think it comes from?
I don't think accuracy is a product of play calling. Not necessarily, no. Especially a drop off that severe.
Okay.
I think that's a drop off of, and I don't have my answer would be, I don't have a great answer for you, but I haven't seen a strong argument that ties play calling to the accuracy stuff. I think the best argument I could hear would be, we saw Russell's mechanics suffer this season, and accuracy is often a product of mechanics, and mechanics is a technique-based thing that maybe you put on coaching. And I would hear that argument, except for the fact that Russell Wilson has 160 starts prior to his Broncos career. And that's not including what he did at Wisconsin, and that's not including what he did at NC State, and that's not what he did in high school. And that's not including what he did. I have my critiques about Russell Wilson. One thing you will never hear me critique him for is his feverish work ethic. Right now, when I'm taking some time off of writing, he's probably working 80 hours a week on trying to get himself right. He's working hard on those mechanics. And they still, with his own private quarterback coaching and everything, and he invests a lot of money in that stuff. And we still saw them decline. So I just wonder, like, we could blame it on the head coach that his mechanics declined. And maybe that really is maybe that is the explanation. I could be proven wrong. But for me, it just doesn't quite hold water when you look at how much Russ has already invested in the development of his own mechanics. Like, do we really think Hackett overhauled that all in the span of a couple months? Like, I buy the injury excuse more than that. But I think even prior to the injury, we see some lapses in accuracy. And even after the injury, we see some lapses in both mobility and accuracy that would concern me. Maybe all of it was the injury and he was a little dinged up all season, but there's definitely some red flags to me. Not that I think he'll be a bottom 5 quarterback forever, but I don't think we'll see him be a top 7 quarterback again. And given his contract, that's a problem.
So
well, I did.
Real quick before we go on any other questions, if you're not watching the game, the Bucs had the ball. Ball was snapped low and to the left. Brady catches the snap with one hand, throws it to Godwin. Godwin fumbles. Cowboys recover and run it about 20 yards towards their end zone. They're reviewing the fumble, but it looks like it's going to be Cowboys ball. So in your estimation, when you look at the team overall, you look at personality, you look at schemes, you look at coaching, you look at players, you look at front office, everything.
Great Kamani.
Who would be the best fit as far as a head coach for you?
I mean, it's tough. It's really tough. I think the best fit. I love Sean Payton because he's got pelts on the wall. I think he's the best head coach. I think he's proven and everything. The best fit, and Broncos fans are about to revolt with me. I don't know if he has a very realistic shot, is DeMeco Ryans.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's a first-time head coach. But if you look at NFL coaching across the league, there's no correlation between first-time head coach and success or retread head coaches and success. That is not the determining factor as to whether or not a coach works. The determining factor is hiring the right guy, right? Mike McDaniel, right? Awesome job he's done with the Dolphins. First-time head coach. Almost went into Buffalo with Skylar Thompson and upset him. First-time
Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota.
Kevin O'Connell, great. Another one I would have totally
Brian
overlooked.
Daboll.
So thank you, Brian Daboll. But hey, let's give the retread some love too. Doug Peterson, Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Andy Reid. Now, Pete Carroll and Andy Reid had resumes that were starkly different from the retread candidates outside of Peyton that the Broncos are interviewing. But either way can be very successful. Either way can be a total failure too. We've seen plenty of that.
Yeah,
I think the floor and the ceiling is a little higher with the first-time head coach. And I'm okay taking that risk because I think DeMeco Ryans is the guy. My pitch to Broncos country would be he's everything you loved about Vic Fangio with none of the stuff you disliked. Everything you disliked about Vic Fangio, he's got that stuff sorted. He's a very smart defensive head coach. You look at the stuff he's done with the 49ers this year. Yes, that defense is very talented, but he's also done a great job maximizing it and putting all of those players into a position to succeed. Now, the big thing everyone took issue with Fangio was how old and stodgy and grumpy he was, and also how he had the locker room in revolt. Here's the great thing about DeMeco Ryans. Kyle Shanahan is able to recognize his strengths and weaknesses. And he knows strengths, running the offense. I know what I'm doing there. I might be the best in the world at that. He knows weaknesses, running the locker room. I'm a little robotic and not the most affable person. So he hires Robert Saleh to be his locker room guy underneath him, of course, as well as running the defense. And now DeMeco Ryans has taken up that mantle. DeMeco Ryans is responsible for so much of the locker room discourse. Yes, he's the defensive coordinator, but he's got a really good relationship with Deebo Samuel. Yes, he's the defensive coordinator, but he's got a really good relationship with Brock Purdy, even though Brock Purdy's this no-name quarterback that's suddenly risen to these new heights. So I love that aspect of him. I love that aspect that he's younger and a player. So he's going to be able to relate to all these guys on a real human level. And I think when we look at Connor Orr of Sports Illustrated did a great deep dive into looking at recent coaches and what are we seeing be successful and what are we seeing being not successful. And the big through line, his conclusion was that the big through line is emotional intelligence. And I think even Hackett, you might be like, well, he's an emotionally intelligent guy. And I'd be like, is he? Like, if you watch the clips, it's a little kind of uncomfortable and goofy. Maybe you guys will disagree, but like Joey and I, who are the ages of these players, watch it and we're like, he's nice. And like, I don't dislike him, but it's like,
I'm not that old.
Well, I don't know. You were looking at me and I was like, okay, maybe it's a me thing. But the people I've talked to a lot are kind of like, this is kind of, I don't know. It doesn't, land quite. Not that it's distasteful. I think he's a likable guy. It comes across that it's coming from the right place, but it's just like, you know, like when you were a teenager and your dad would make dad jokes. The dad jokes are really enjoyable when you're the dad. But when you're the teenager, it is kind of like, oh, dad, come on. Like, I do think Hackett had kind of that vibe. D'Amico Ryans, I think, is off the charts in terms of emotional intelligence. I didn't even go into Vic Fangio because that guy was severely lacking in that.
That's not.
But D'Amico Ryans is off the charts in that department, on top of being, I think, schematically brilliant, on top of being, I think, maybe the best guy to bring a winning culture and a winning program into the building. I'm a big D'Amico Ryans guy. And I think he can bring a really strong staff, considering his background with the Shanahan tree and his background with a lot of former players, too. And as we see a bunch of players transition into coaching, having a guy with a lot of those player connections, I think makes is an appealing bridge to building a strong staff.
So you're okay with the first? You're okay with the first-time head coach going forward, even though we've already had 4.
Absolutely. I don't think that's the reason it was successful. Like Mike Shanahan, I guess, was finally successful as a retread, but yes, that's not the best example. The Broncos franchise history. How about this? The Broncos franchise history has been one of success with retreads. Yep. It has also been one of success with quarterbacks they didn't draft. And if you look at, I think the greater history of the NFL, especially in regards to the quarterback thing, that's a very atypical route to success. The retread thing is definitely a route to success, but to think it's the only route to success is something that's very insulated into the Denver bubble.
But how do you sell? Excuse me, I don't mean to cut you off, but how do you sell Broncos country into believing that another
look at Coach of the Year Brian Daboll? Look at Coach of the Year Brian Daboll. Look at Mike McDaniel, who got votes for Coach of the Year. Look at Kevin O'Connell, who got votes for Coach of the Year. Now, the awards aren't in yet. I'm assuming that these guys will get votes. But either way, let's say these guys don't get votes. Look at these playoff teams, all of which outperformed preseason expectations across the board. Answering Kamani's question, so for me, and I've changed here, Hackett made me reconsider that some of these things. I've kind of become agnostic on a lot of it. Offense versus defense doesn't matter to me a lot. I think in an ideal world, it'd be offense, just because offense is more sustainable. It's relying on one player rather than 11. If you can find a really good offensive play calling head coach, it makes it a little more likely you get that big one, aka the quarterback, right, and you can have offensive sustainability for several years. So I think that's the ideal path. But more importantly, you just got to find the guy for the job. I think I put way too much stock into the offensive thing last year, and it made me fall for a guy like Hackett and reevaluating things. I wouldn't put much stock into offense versus defense. What I would put stock into is adaptability and emotional intelligence. And so, like, just kind of circling back to the Dan Quinn thing, I've seen emotional intelligence from him at a very high level. I've also seen him demonstrate poor adaptability. And that's my big concern, because I think that's huge for coaching. Like, you look at the Eagles right now. Yes, they're a very talented roster, but the reason they're so good and the reason Hurts has been so good is because of how they adapted their offense.
Yeah. So my question is 2 things. One, do the Broncos even have an interview scheduled with D'Amico Ryans?
Yes, this week. It's it might be tomorrow morning. It's either tomorrow morning or Thursday.
Okay.
And if you go over to the LTB Twitter, I made a snazzy little graphic here.
Plug. The other question is, and it was a name that I hadn't even thought of.
Thursday.
But Jim Caldwell was brought up and was interviewed. I didn't even consider Jim Caldwell. And then there started being names thrown around for who he might use as his offensive coordinator, and Frank Reich was brought up. Do you see Jim Caldwell as even an option? And if he is Frank Reich a possibility at OC for Jim Caldwell?
Yeah, Frank Reich's very appealing to me. He'd be a guy I'd circle as head coach. It seems like reading some of the reporting out of Indy that he maybe the head coach responsibilities were a little too much for him. And maybe that chair is a little too big. I think that's probably a reason why we're not seeing him get a ton of interviews this cycle.
Go with Jeff Saturday.
That was insanity. But
it sounds like they might give him the job full time now.
The Jim Irsay, man. But exactly. What I see with Frank Reich, and it didn't work with Matt Ryan this year, to be fair, but every year prior to that, and remember, he signed up thinking he was getting Andrew Luck.
Right.
Every year during his coaching tenure, he has maximized the quarterback. The one year he had Luck, it was the best we had seen of Luck in a long time. Then he has Jacoby Brissett and makes Jacoby Brissett look really good. Then he has Phillip Rivers and gives us the best Phillip Rivers season of like the last 4 years of his career. Then he gets Carson Wentz and gets Carson Wentz to have a resurgent season after a really ugly 2020 in Philly. And actually 2019, both years he's like a bottom 5 quarterback. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I have 2019, 2020. There's at least 1 year there where he's arguably the worst quarterback in the NFL. And then Frank Reich.
I think it was 2020, yeah.
And then Frank Reich has that resurgent season, which definitely wasn't perfect, but was the best of Carson Wentz we saw. And that's further highlighted by Carson Wentz goes to Washington and is worse than Taylor Heineke. Did not work with Matt Ryan this year, but I've seen a guy who has adapted his offense, again, huge for me, and has consistently gotten the most out of his quarterback, specifically an aging quarterback that doesn't have all the tools he once had. So Frank Reich's extremely appealing to me. He was the guy, like, to go back a month or two ago before we had interview lists and everything, and we just were brainstorming ideas of who the Broncos might interview. I was saying, yeah, Sean Payton would be great, but realistically, Frank Reich would be my choice. So if you could get Frank Reich as an OC, I'd be ecstatic with that. As for Jim Caldwell, I really like him. I think he did a good job in Indy. And then his work in Detroit was really great. I understand why Detroit kind of viewed him the way that Denver maybe viewed John Fox and thought we have to take the next step. We have to move off this guy. But he's the only Detroit head coach since the 70s with a winning head coach or winning career record, rather, over the course of his head coaching tenure. That's hard to do in Detroit.
And 2 playoff seasons out of 3.
Yep.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. I hype up a guy like DeMeco Ryans because I think generally, and I noticed this with a lot of my evaluations, I'm drawn to higher ceiling, lower floor options. I'm okay with the risk because ultimately we're here to win a Super Bowl and let's go. Let's go. Ultimate goal. That said, given where the Broncos have been for a while, I think there's something to be said for the stabilizing presence of a Jim Caldwell that maybe isn't, Kyle Shanahan in the sense that he's just blowing you away with the wild, unique, brilliant stuff he's doing. But he's also not going to be Nathaniel Hackett. He's not going to be Vance Joseph. He's not going to be Vic Fangio. He's going to be a functional NFL head coach. And the Broncos haven't had that since 2016. So that sounds pretty appealing.
I saw a very interesting quote, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, which is why I'm going to ask. There was a quote maybe a couple weeks ago from Micah Parsons that said, if Dan Quinn leaves, I'm going with him. Is that true?
I'd be stunned if it was true. I think the Cowboys will make it very, very difficult for Micah Parsons to leave Dallas, especially when you look at Jerry Jones' track record. Even if Micah Parsons was to leave, personally, I wouldn't be a fan of it. I'm going to be in the very small minority here. I know he's an amazing, amazing player. I can't besmirch him as a player at all. He's maybe the most unique defensive force I've seen ever. But if you look at his Penn State hazing incidents, they were called hazing. I would use a different term for them. I've never heard a crime described as hazing. I won't get into it. I know it's a fairly friendly show, but it took him off my draft board. It took him off my draft board for me. Because I thought, this is a guy where his character, I wouldn't want him on my roster. And frankly, I still have those concerns. I'm reminded a lot of Aldon Smith, who came onto the scene and early in his San Francisco career was better than they were in the same draft class, was better than Von Miller was for the Denver Broncos. But where Von Miller kind of learned from his off-field stuff and got on the right track, Aldon Smith never did. Maybe Micah Parsons goes the Von Miller route. Maybe he goes the Aldon Smith route. But Micah Parsons' baggage is not weed. If it was weed, I wouldn't have a problem. But it is some other stuff that makes me feel a little dicey.
All right,
Colorado native.
I know you don't have a whole lot of time, so I definitely want to thank you for jumping on and giving us your insight into the Broncos coaching search. You have yourself a good night, my man, and you make sure that everybody follows Zach Seegers on Twitter and follow the LTB podcast on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, at Mile High Sports. Make sure you go check them out as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so sorry, Bill.
No, it's okay, Zach. Always appreciative. Glad you came in.
Absolutely. Hope to talk with you. Hope I get to talk with you both some more. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you for having me. At Zach_Seegers on Twitter. I'll give you all a little sneak peek exclusive for whoever's listening now. I'm about to have a lot more Colorado Buffaloes coverage. So get ready for that if you are interested.
Stop.
Hey, you know what?
On the show and then
Nebraska stings. I'm fine with it. I can live with it, Bill. I can live with it. Nebraska, little brother over here. I don't even blame him.
Let me check my national championship record here.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, check the last 10,000 days or whatever. Nebraska's gone since beating Colorado. Let's go Buffaloes.
Show me your natties.
Hey, I bet before he goes, Zach, I gotta ask you one question. What do you think about Deion Sanders, head coach?
Oh, I'm a big fan. He is, as a CU alumni, it is a cold, dark time as Mike is talking trash and rightfully so. The national championships are not plentiful in Boulder. And maybe Deion doesn't win you a natty, but man, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So, and that's what sports are all about ultimately. Speaking of fun, I had so much fun with you fellas here tonight. Thank you very much. Hope the rest of this game is more fun instead of this 24-0 muck fest.
I know. I'm so
thank you so much. Have a good night, fellas.
All right, you too.
All right, see you, bud.
Take care, man.
See you.
That was fun, man. That was fun.
Okay, so going back a little bit, that fumble turned out to not be a fumble for the Bucs got the ball, but then they turned it over anyway. So
good. Somebody on the Cowboys is hurt. Good.
Yeah, somebody. So there were two Cowboys going for the tackle, and Colston ran into the knee of the guy that's hurt.
Good.
Well,
I mean, hey, we need
good
four
as long as
touchdowns.
we find out that he's not out for a long, long time.
He ain't gonna be out for a long, long time. His career's not over. I just want it over for tonight. Now we gotta get touchdown.
That was dude. Parsons almost picked that off.
I didn't see it, man. If you went ahead, would you stop?
Okay, hold on.
I haven't even gone to a play.
I paused it. Let me know when Brady's on the screen. Hey, let me know when Brady's on the screen doing this.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Okay, now that you threw it. Go at the 20-yard line.
Let me know when he's doing this.
Oh yeah, now he is. He's going like this. Yeah.
Okay, we should be synced up.
Okay, they're at their
showing the Micah Parsons review.
They're at their own 20. Excuse me, they're at their own 20-yard line, right? Huh?
No, they're at their own 8.
No, now they're at their own. Now they're at the 35. So now I got to hit pause, right?
Oh no, I'm staying. I got it.
There's a minute and 58 seconds left and counting. Come on, Tampa Bay, you got to score, man. They're at their own 34. Come on, go. Good. Out to the 43.
Okay, yeah, you're a little ahead of me.
All right, I'll hit pause.
I'll tell you when.
Now.
Nope.
Just do it. Let's do it now.
Now.
I just did it. They're getting ready to line up. Hey, look what Kamani says. I have a nickname for Zach.
Hater. That's what it is.
Hater.
He's a Quinn and Russell hater. Hater.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Zach Hater. You can almost run that together. Zach Hater. All right, that's the 49-yard line. Get me. Screen. Nowhere to go. 50.
Okay, hit
I'm going to
pause.
say a 52-yard line. Huh?
Hit pause.
And
Hold on.
now.
Now.
Uh-oh, I hit it again. My bad. Now I'm behind you. No, I'm
They
not.
try to find some veteran help in their secondary for that.
Oh, somebody down to a knee. Yeah!
Those issues
Stay down.
after Anthony Brown went down, and who's going to man that other corner spot?
46 seconds left
Veteran guy.
Yeah.
in the
He's been
third.
these type of games. That certainly
Second,
helps.
7.
But what really helps
Uh,
is that Parsons and that group of
oh, Zach the attack. Look at that.
pressure.
He's got a
Zach
nickname.
attack.
The Zach attack.
So it all works.
Wow, I like that, Kamani. That's good. Attack of what? Attack of all of our questions or all of our comments?
Everything good in this world. That's what he's attacking.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow, I'm surprised. He's Zach is all good with going with the first-time head coach again. I'm not. I don't want
D'Amico
that.
Ryans.
I don't.
I don't know. Like, I'm really liking Jim Caldwell, but
Well, yeah, at least somebody's got experience.
well, and I think the only way that happens is if Mike McCarthy gets fired, Dan Quinn gets the job, and then Sean Payton goes to Arizona.
Yeah. True. 3rd and 7. Wow, they are blanketing. Who's that? Who's the number one wide receiver for the Buccaneers?
Either Mike Evans or Chris Godwin.
Oh, Evans. Man, they are blanketing him like no
So Evans
tomorrow.
is 13, Godwin's is 14.
Get it first. Go. Get out of bounds. Good. Okay, they got to score right now. They have to score
Okay,
right now.
okay.
Scuba Steve, damn you!
You want Mike McCarthy? You wouldn't want Mike McCarthy?
Put that juju on the Broncos. No.
Hang on.
Bad Scuba Steve.
What? The game.
So your dinner's
Hi.
in the oven.
No, I'll be fine.
You didn't even introduce us, Bill.
Huh?
You didn't even introduce us.
Oh, sorry. She said my dinner's ready. I said I'll get it when I'm off.
Nah, eat it now. Take your dentures out. Eat some food. We're fine.
I can't do that in front of everybody, can I?
Take your dentures out? Sure.
No. I got it. Oh yeah, touchdown. Did he catch it? 1, 2. Yep. Beautiful. That's what I said. I said they
I
had
don't
to
know
score
because
on
he
the
put
drive.
that knee down and the ball moved. Watch.
No. Oh,
Knee down, ball.
they're gonna review it. Oh no, they're going for 2.
I think you're trying to get it in before.
Oh. Dang it.
Yeah, you're a good second and a half ahead of me.
All right, I hit. Oh, hang on.
Not sure where Brady's throwing any of these balls at.
What? Oh, so Kamani wants to know,
What does he want to know?
what are we eating?
Yeah, what do you have?
She's got fried chicken, and I don't know if it's mashed potatoes or green beans. I mean, I know it's green beans. I don't know if it's mashed potatoes or other potatoes. But anyways, that's what it is. So it's chicken, and in fact, if you guys want me to, I'll go get it and I'll bring it in here. I don't want to eat in front of everybody, but
Dude, we're sitting here watching a game, man. Do you eat when you watch a game?
yeah.
I mean, Glenn eats his bran flakes while he's watching this. So go ahead, man. We ain't worried about it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll be
Scuba
right back.
Steve says, tell your wife to save Scuba Steve a plate.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'll show you guys too if I can. Hang on.
This is what Bill did when his wife told him his food was ready. I got to get that in every time. It's so fun. I love it. Fried chicken. I wonder if she made it or if she ordered it from somewhere. What's your favorite chicken place? There's what? KFC, Church's, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes. What else am I missing? Am I missing another one? What's your favorite chicken place? I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go. I like KFC, but Popeyes is good too. Now I'm getting hungry because I'm talking about chicken. See, Scuba Steve, we're right there, man. Popeyes, it's good chicken. Sometimes, like, their chicken sandwich is a little spicy, but I'm not like a big jalapeno spicy guy. But that's why I went with KFC. But when you're looking, like, there was the big chicken sandwich thing between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. Not even close. Popeyes chicken sandwich is way better than Chick-fil-A's. I don't even know why that was a debate. Too grease? Why? Wait. How is more grease a problem? Isn't that a good thing? Same. Popeyes. All right. Wait, Popeyes or KFC? Ba, 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 ba. Holy crap, the Cowboys almost took that back to the house. No, grease is not a good thing. Maybe that's just on pizza. But too much grease on pizza gives me heartburn, so that's why I can't do that. Too greasy. All right. I will say this, though. When you go to KFC to get the sides, like the mashed potatoes and gravy, doesn't really have any flavor. Like, I don't get it. Their mac and cheese doesn't really have any flavor either. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. That's just me. I don't. Wait, does Popeyes have the sides like KFC? Okay. Question is it homemade or is it like ordered from Popeyes or KFC?
Oh no, it's homemade.
Okay.
In fact,
air fryer or like regular fryer?
Just show you the plate. There's the green beans, the chicken's on top. I don't want to spill it on my laptop, but here, how about if I do this? There you go.
Is that fried or grilled chicken?
That's she fried it on the pan.
Oh, okay.
But I can't eat it when we're on live because I just feel bad, man. But I got it.
Man, I ain't worried about it.
I know, but
I was gonna ask a good question and I forgot what it was.
Well, ask me.
Well, I don't remember what it was, so I can't ask.
Freaking green beans are good, though.
Come on, Scuba Steve says it look good. Hey, did you tell your wife to save Kamani a plate?
I did.
Nice.
You know what she said?
I'll be expecting mine in the mail.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what you want. Oh, although I could vacuum seal it.
There you go. No, we were talking because you were talking about fried chicken. We were talking about what's the favorite chicken place. You got Church's, you got Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, KFC. I know I'm forgetting somewhere.
What's yours?
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Never heard of that one.
I like KFC, but I also like Popeyes. Like I like KFC for like the
crispy
fried chicken, but
extra
then I like
crispy?
Popeyes for their regular. Original.
Oh, you don't like the extra crispy?
No.
Really?
And then I like Popeyes for their chicken sandwich.
Oh, how about
what's
Pollo
your
Loco?
favorite chicken
How about
place?
Pollo Loco?
What is that?
You never heard of Pollo Loco?
Dude, I live in Nebraska. I haven't heard of a lot of stuff.
Okay. Pollo Loco is it's a rotisserie. I don't know what you call it, but they do a rotisserie.
Rotis?
Yeah, that one.
Now, It might be that my
one's good.
favorite chicken place is KFC because I have to drive an hour to go to like a Popeyes or a Chick-fil-A.
What?
Yeah, that's the closest one to me. Okay,
Are
just so
you
everyone
serious?
knows, I live in the middle of nowhere. Like
No
I live
kidding.
in Podunk nowhere in Nebraska. So like for me, if I want to go to Walmart, I got to drive like 35 miles or 35 minutes to go to Walmart.
Wow. Dude, you got to change that score. It's 24-6.
I don't want to. Wait, why? Oh, they failed. Why? Who? When did I change it to 8?
I have no idea. I just happened to see it. But it's 24-6.
You distracted me, Bill. Harold's Chicken in Illinois.
Never heard
Not
of it.
me. Come on, we went to we were going to Indiana for my grandpa's 90th birthday, and we stopped in Chicago and went to medieval times. You ever been there? Excuse you. Nebraska.
What'd I do?
Explains a lot. No Ray's comment. Nebraska, that explains a lot.
Oh,
Yes.
gee.
I was trapped here by my wife.
No, Nebraska. I've been to North Platte, Nebraska.
You've never been to medieval times, my friend?
I haven't either. I
Oh,
heard it's
my
amazing.
God.
They have it out in L.A. Is it
If
LA?
you ever
Okay.
go to a medieval times, the two best ones are the ones in LA and the ones in
Yep.
Orlando. Those
Yeah,
are
it's
the two
LA.
best ones.
But
Because we went to the one in Chicago, it was okay. My wife and I have been to 2, with the one in Orlando and then the one in Chicago. And the one in Orlando was way better.
so, what is it that is attractive?
What?
Because I hear that you got to eat. They don't
Medieval
give
times?
yeah, they don't give you utensils to eat. You have
Dude,
to,
they joust in front of you.
I know, but that you have to eat your food with your hands.
I do that anyways.
Oh my gosh, I should have known better, but no, I mean, is it like finger
No, the
food?
food.
Or,
No, it's like a big old piece of chicken.
what?
And then they give you soup, but you can drink that out of the bowl. And then you get you get a roll, you get corn on the cob. I mean, it's really good food. And like you sit there and you eat it, and they're like sword fighting in front of you, and they're jousting, and it's cool. My kids
Wow.
loved it.
Wow. Well, that's cool.
And I love it because the kids are so entertained watching that
Right.
that they leave me the hell alone.
Did I watch what movies? No, I haven't gotten the list from Mike.
I gave you the list already.
Or did?
Yes, I told you. You had to write it down. Mighty Ducks, Goon, Mystery Alaska. Those are
Hang
the
on.
3. You
Hang
got to watch them before the next Avalanche neighborhood game.
Oh God.
I'm going to Chicago this weekend. I'll make sure dude, check it out. It's really cool.
All right. What?
Now,
Hang on.
Touchdown Cowboys.
Again?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay. they
Now,
did go.
I will
Okay.
tell you this. It
So-
is a little spendy. Like for me and my family to go was around $360.
But you got to tell me the movies. I'm writing it
Mighty
down.
Ducks,
See?
the Mighty Ducks.
All right. Go ahead.
Goon,
Okay.
Mystery Alaska.
Got it. See? If you don't believe me, I don't know if it can.
You got to
come in.
watch those before the next Avalanche neighborhood.
Well, that's Saturday, man. I can't watch all these.
Dude, he made a kick.
He made it?
Yeah.
Oh, boo. Now it's what, 31?
31-6.
Crap.
How about for 2 people? All right, let me check prices. Hold on.
Damn, my wife's a good cook.
Medieval times. Dude, you can turn the sound on if you want, if you don't want to hear the.
Oh, sorry. See, that's why I don't want to eat, man.
I don't care. Just keep your mouth closed. All right, tickets to Chicago.
It's a
Come on,
commercial.
Scuba Steve, you're going this weekend. This weekend, okay. Let's say Saturday. Let's say 7:00. It's going to cost you $132.
Wow.
That's what it's going to cost to go
For two people?
for two people.
Wow. That's a 60, 132, that's 60.
It's like a 60.
Eight?
No, it's like
64.
66, 67 a
Yeah.
person.
Oh. And that includes your food?
That includes food. That includes the show. That includes the little hat, the little crown you get.
He goes, no, we're going to go to Popeyes then.
Yeah. No, it was one of those things where it's like, for me to take my family to Disney World is like $10,000.
What?
So if I want to go to if I want my kids to ever see like Medieval Times, I got to take them when I can. And so they had one in Chicago, so I was like, we're going, because I don't know if I'm ever going to get them to to take them to it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like
man.
if I stay on the Disney World Resort, I can watch a fight on the streets of Illinois. That's true.
True.
Yeah, if I want to stay at the resort at Disney World, Disney World alone is gonna cost me about $10,000. And then if I want to go to Universal Studios to Hogwarts, which that's gonna cost me another couple thousand.
Wow. That is crazy, man.
That is a PSA against lots of kids. Have like two.
I live in Southern California, and my next door neighbor works at the Disneyland Grand Hotel. He's been there for like 25 years. He's really high up in whatever he does, and he has said that Disneyland is becoming absolutely unaffordable for any family.
Dude,
it's gone up to $110 a ticket.
Yeah. So now, so do this. Take 110, multiply it by 7, and then count 4 days.
Well, not only that, but you got food. My wife and I were there with our grandson. Oh, gee, he was 5. He's now 11. So 6 years ago, we bought an ice cream, but just regular ice cream cone, $7.
Yeah.
$7 for an ice cream cone.
It costs me almost $100 every time I go to McDonald's.
Wow, man.
But it's like, and that's political stuff. We ain't gonna get into that. I'm just saying, like, even if you went to Disney World, like just for tickets, like if I just bought tickets for my family, it's gonna cost me about $4,000 to $5,000 just for tickets.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. But you know what? I feel so bad for people who want to go to like Disney World, Disneyland, Universal Studios, whatever that's out here in California, Universal Studios, Knott's Berry Farm, Magic Mountain, that kind of thing. I mean, when I was in my 20s,
6.
He's got 6.
Plus my dogs.
How many dogs do you have? 2?
2 dogs and a cat.
You have a cat too?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hopefully not for much longer.
Oh, stop it. You can't go there, man. That's just messed up.
My cat is about 17 years old.
Really?
Yeah. Your dog is pissed at something.
No, my dog wants food.
Yeah.
So my wife's probably going to feed her. She's blind.
No, I'm telling you, come on in. Like, I wanted 2, my wife wanted 8. So you see who won that argument.
Yep.
Don't die, Bill. We have never met. Right? Uh-oh, he just disappeared. That's not okay. I'm going to put him back on. Shh, don't tell him. Hi, Bill. I'm going to unmute him, too. Oh, I can't. It won't let me. He's coughing so hard, he's crying. Can't hear you, Bill. You muted yourself. Okay, so Bill and I have never officially met. I was like perusing
Swallowed my
through
water
YouTube. I was perusing through YouTube and ran across his channel on YouTube, caught a couple of his videos, and I liked it. And I asked if he wanted to join the network, and that's how we met.
Yep. And swallowed that water, took a big gulp of water, and I wanted to say something when I did it, and I inhaled the water in my lungs. Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. That's all. Kamani wanted to know how he hooked up. So let me ask you, Kamani, was it a mistake that I'm on the network? Hopefully not. But yeah, I am crazy. I am very passionate, very emotional, which I think works great with working with and crazy. I think it works great working with the guys on the network because
how long have you been on the network?
On MHRT?
It hasn't been a year yet, has it?
Since 21.
Liar! I don't believe you. Hold on.
Well, that's what you said. You told me that last year.
Hold on, I'm looking. Playlists. Broncos breakdown. Very first one, January 12th. Yeah, it's been a year.
Yep, January 12th. Yeah, 2022, right?
Yep. So
Yep.
you just hit your 1 year. Woo! Way to go, Bill.
Where's my medal? Don't I get a certificate, a medal?
I didn't get nothing. All I got was you.
Oh wow. You make it sound so bad, man. See, there you go. Look at it. Come on, said, "Nah, I enjoyed both of y'all, Hitman Bill and Magic Mike." There you go, Magic Mike.
I'm gonna take Magic Mike. Even if he's talking about like the Harry Potter style magic, I'm thinking more like the Magic Mike movies, and I'll take that any day.
There you go.
I can't dance like that, but I'll try. I can
10-5 to the 2. 7 minutes left in the game. 31. It's about ready to be 31-13 or 31-14. Not sure which they're going to go
Oh, get there.
Are you ahead of me again?
I think I'm behind you. They just got to the 2.
Yeah. And no, incomplete.
Okay. Well, you need.
Thanks, Ray. Well, it doesn't matter at this point because the game's over. Thanks, Ray. Ray, appreciate it. You know what? I have to let everybody know out there. It has been an absolute, unbelievable transition going from my own Broncos breakdown on YouTube and my own channel to come to the MHRT network. I couldn't be more just appreciative of Mike for wanting me to be on here and just, taking me under his wing and just wanting me to be a part of MHRT network. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's been a year and it's been a fun year on the network. Let's just hope that next year in Broncos country, we can have a lot more wins and get back to the playoffs. But it's been great. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
It's been like this. I will never get sick of that video ever.
That's how I'm feeling about now with this game and last night's game with the Vikings. It's like, oh god,
that's what it felt like anytime. So Bill used to record his shows and then send it to me, and I'd edit it, and that's how I would feel anytime Bill would send me a show, and I would listen to it and hear some of the things that he said. I would react like that and then call him and go, "Bill, no, you can't say that."
Like, because he's dead.
Yeah, no, can't do that.
Well, I mean, it's the truth. He was.
Okay, this is my question. How are you going to let a 46-year-old guy throw 51 times in a game?
Because they obviously can't run the ball. That's how. If you can't run the ball, what else you can do?
I don't know, but I think this proves the point that Dallas's defense is legit. Like say what you want about Dan Quinn, but he definitely turned this Dallas D around. God dang, they're good.
Yeah. Okay, I'll agree with that. Wow. This game.
When's the last time you saw Tom Brady go out in the wild card?
I can't remember. Patriots? Did he ever go out in the wild card to the Patriots?
I'm sure he did, but it's been a long time.
Yep. I would agree.
Did the Bucs make the playoffs last year?
I think they did. But they didn't go out in the first round.
I don't think they did either, but God dang, when's the last time you saw that?
So maybe you have a lot. Maybe you were dead on, Mike, when you said that Tom Brady's time is come and gone.
Dude, looking at this game, I don't see how he keeps going. Like, I'm not saying that he's playing awful, but he's not good enough to like raise this franchise anymore.
No.
Because I mean, like the big thing with Peyton Manning and with Drew Brees is like they were able to take the franchise, put it on their back, and carry him to wherever they wanted to go.
Right.
Tom Brady did the same thing with the Patriots, and he did the same thing for a couple years with the Bucs. He's not that guy anymore.
No. And this is proven. I mean, the Cowboys are not the defense of, let's say, the 49ers or the defense of the Broncos, And I say that with all due respect to the Broncos. I mean, they're a top 5 defense. I don't see the Cowboys in a top 5 defense, but they're sure making it look like they're a top 5 defense tonight. I mean, it looks like they're in Tom Brady's head completely. I mean, he's made bad throws. He's overthrown wide open receivers. Obviously, okay, not all of it his fault. I mean, he's thrown some right in the breadbasket of the receivers, and they haven't made the catch. There's been some throws that were just right there, and the guys have just missed it. So it's not all him. But at the same time, he does not look like the Tom Brady of even 2 years ago. Looks like a shell of himself, and that's pretty sad. It's pretty sad that he's really trying to make it, as long as he can, get all the records of the NFL.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not, we're not sitting here saying that he looks terrible.
Sure.
Like, he still looks like Tom Brady, but he looks like an average Tom Brady. Like,
yeah,
he looks. When you look at Tom Brady in the postseason, you look at Tom Brady in the regular season, like, you can look at Tom Brady and go, "Oh my God, I understand why he's so good."
Right.
You look at Tom Brady and you see Tom Brady, he's not better than everyone right now. Mm-hmm. He's average.
And you know what? I really appreciate the fact that John Elway retired on top when he won his Super Bowl, back-to-back Super Bowl.
Should have gone for one more. Should have gone for one more.
I appreciate the fact that Peyton Manning retired after winning Super Bowl 50 because of this very reason. What are we seeing tonight? We're seeing a phenomenal quarterback not even being in even average. He's barely average. I would rather see John Elway and Peyton Manning retire on top, like Tom Brady should have when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl. I understand it's in your blood, and I understand you want to keep playing, but hey, why do you want to go out like this? I wouldn't.
No. So here's a question for you. If the Broncos win Super Bowl 48 against the Seahawks, does Manning retire that year, or does he go on for another year or two? Because he crushed it the next year too.
To me, that would depend on how the game went. Did the Broncos have to come from behind, or was it total dominance? If it was a total dominance, I'd say he comes back, because that shows that they are elite at that point. If they had to come back from behind and barely win the game with a field goal and win it by 1 or 2 points, I'm like, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? I think it has a lot to say with, I mean, look at Super Bowl 32. They barely beat the Packers. Elway comes back. And I know what you're saying. You're going to say, well, then there you go. Barely beat him. You wanted Manning to come back one more year?
No, we should have had Elway for one more year.
Elway come back for
Not
one more
Manning. Yeah, I think he still had another year or two left in him. Now, I do want to address this question or this comment by Ray. If Quinn can win a Super Bowl without a defensive collapse, I could definitely be willing to consider him as head coach. Well, if he'd won the Super Bowl without a collapse, he wouldn't be available to hire as a head coach.
True.
So,
yep, very true. Very true. I like what Kamani says. He says he should have called it quits like his wife told him to. Now she's gone and he's broken and washed up. I would have to agree. I think a lot of that has when you go through a divorce, and I went through one 1989. It's not fun, guys. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable by any stretch of imagination. And even though it was cordial, it was still tough. And I cannot imagine being in his position as a quarterback, a leader of the team, and have his model wife or whatever, divorce him. I cannot imagine. How do you focus on what you're supposed to do? I couldn't focus at work.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. Brady did this, and the only thing I could see was I got a hole in my hand. That's all. It's the only thing that went through my head.
Oh, he got it back, but then he threw it away.
Yeah, he fumbled it. No, he was before the ball was snapped. He was doing this, and in my head, all I could hear was I got a hole in my hand, and that was just making me giggle.
Kamani has a question for you. If Wilson goes to AFC Championship and lose, should he retire?
Why? I mean, if your goal is to, like he said when he came in, his goal was to play another 10 years. Like if he's wanting to play another 10 years and the skills aren't gone, why would he?
Okay, well, according to a lot of people, Wilson doesn't seem to be the same Wilson. So,
well, but it's not so much that. Like what Seegers was saying was that he's always had this problem.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll was able to design an offense around Russell Wilson so that he cover up the things that he wasn't good at. So if we can get a head coach and an offensive coordinator that can design an offense around the problems that Russell Wilson has, so all we get is the good side of Russell Wilson,
right?
I don't see why he couldn't play another 7-8 years.
Well, I hope so.
I don't think he's going to play until he's 46 like Brady. Brady was never a running quarterback. He was a pocket passer. And so he didn't take as much abuse as Wilson has over the years. But I think that Russell Wilson is like completely washed? No. I think that a lot of things went wrong. His first new team in 10 years, new, offensive coordinator, new head coach, a first-time head coach that had an awful scheme, 20-something players on IR. Like there was a lot that went wrong this year. So I think Wilson will be fine.
Wow. Kamani disagrees with you. Says he only thinks he has 3 years left.
I mean, he might only have 3 years left. I mean, it all depends. Like, that's why you're seeing like Peyton Manning played until he was almost 40. Brady's playing until he's 46. Drew Brees played until he was 41, 42. But what do all three of those have in common?
Offensive line.
They're pocket passers. Yep. They sit in the pocket and they throw the ball. And Russell Wilson isn't. So
right.
He might only have 3 years. He might have 4, he might have 5. I don't know. I would highly doubt that he plays until he's 40. I think that was maybe wishful thinking on his part, thinking that he was going to sit in the pocket and throw the ball.
Stupid.
Obviously, he can't do that. I mean, I'm not saying he can't do that. I'm saying that his strength is bootlegs and play actions and
that's because he's only 5'1". I mean,
he's
I'm being
5'11".
I know I'm being facetious. But
he's taller than me.
But when you got defensive players that are like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", and they jump up, with their arms up. I mean, now you're at dang, you're close to 7
And that's
feet.
why Russell Wilson is good on the outside.
Exactly.
Where he's going.
Exactly.
So do I think he's got 3 years? If he doesn't improve next year off of this year, then I say he has maybe 1 year left. But if you see the old Russell Wilson next year, hold on. Hold on.
What's it going to take for?
Hold on. I
Somebody's
can't tell
injured.
if this dude is really hurt or what's going on.
Number 7. Oh yeah, he got hogtied around the neck, and his head got bent back. That's number 17. Is that that's Evans, right?
No, Evans is 13, and I don't know who that is. Ouch.
So,
because it looked like he was either trying to sit up or was like convulsing. I'm not sure what the heck was going on.
So your comment was, what was your last comment?
How many hits can he take?
No, not that.
No, my comment is if he improves, I could see him having another 3 or 4 years left. If he doesn't, then he's going to have like 1 because nobody's going to want to bring him in.
Okay, so here's my question to you. Do you think it's a Russell Wilson issue or a head coach issue at this point in time?
I think it was a head coach issue.
I agree. So that tells me that with a head coach, a new head coach that can come in and understand Russell Wilson and what he needs to do, then Russell Wilson should be. Are y'all?
You better UPS that shit.
Are y'all airmail on my plate? Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, the green beans green beans are in garlic and salt and pepper, a little bit of spices. She fried the chicken in garlic and spices and salt and pepper, and then she poured cream of mushroom sauce over top. There you go.
He's hurt. He's
wow, he's really hurt. They're all kneeling down. This isn't good. Because I told you, he caught him on the neck like this and then snapped it back. So I'm hoping it's not a spine issue. That would be catastrophic.
Yeah, it almost looks like. I mean, he was moving around, so I don't know.
Wow. Here we go again, guys.
Thoughts and prayers to whoever it is. I hope he's okay.
3 weeks removed from
and as much as Bill and I joke, like, oh, let's get that player out of there. We don't actually want players to get hurt.
No, we don't.
Nobody ever wishes that. We don't want that to happen.
No.
Because the NFL, there is no NFL if there's no players. So
true.
As much as we joke,
here comes the cart.
As much as we joke, we don't actually want anybody to get hurt.
No. The only reason why I say anything like that is I just don't want to be impactful in the game against my team. That's what it is. Miss Hitman can cook. Yeah, she can. She's
do the Broncos play anybody in LA? Oh yeah, the Chargers. Dude, I'm coming to you.
There you go.
I'm going to stay at your house so your wife can cook for me.
There you go.
And then we're going to go to the Chargers game.
Sounds great, man. Sounds great.
I'll treat you to the Broncos game. You treat me to the Chargers game.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good, man.
And if anybody else wants to go to the Vikings game, we'll be there.
Yeah. Going back to
I don't even remember where we were.
Miss Hitman can cook. Yeah, she's I married a Hispanic woman, and her mom is still alive. We take care of her mom. She's 94 years old. Her mom cooks nothing but Mexican food, and my wife cooks nothing but American food. And I got the best of both worlds. So when my wife cooks up something like chicken and stuff like that, she gets recipes off the internet or whatever because she wants to.
How in the world are you 130 pounds? If all your mother-in-law makes is Mexican food and your wife is a really good cook, how are you only 130 pounds?
I don't know, man. I got a super high metabolism, man. I mean, it's super.
Slow it down.
super high metabolism. I mean, I'll get
I'll switch. You can have my metabolism.
I'll get what's that stuff with egg? Chorizo. I'll get chorizo with egg and burritos, and then I get choriano, refried beans and rice. Wow, that's sad. Now I don't know what happened. Did you see what happened? All I saw was his head came like this and snapped back, but I didn't see anything catastrophic.
No, I like, and that's why I said, like, I was watching it and it looked like he was trying to get up. So I wonder if it's a can't feel the legs type of thing or can't feel the arm. You know, that happens sometimes. They'll get hit and then like they can't feel their extremities. And then by the time they get to the hospital, they're fine. Wow. Wow. Ha!
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
Kamani, you
so
are
for
more
con-
than welcome.
For
Anytime.
context, Bill meant black jerseys. Just saying.
Kamani, you are always welcome, my friend. Always welcome. Absolutely. Anytime
Listen,
you're in
because of
Southern
that comment, I
California-
have
Scuba Steve, damn you!
I have to like that comment.
Good, man. That was so good. No, you're always welcome, my friend. Always welcome. Love you.
Blacks allowed in your house. Wow.
In fact, my oldest sister, who lives in New Jersey, she's been married to an African American man for, almost 50 years. And I love
He's on the cart.
love the guy. So I love the guy. So I got nothing against, man. It was just a comment. It wasn't intended on people.
Moving on, Bill. Moving on. It was all in fun. We got you. All right. So the player's on the cart. Do you know who it is?
No, I don't. It was number 17. I thought that was Evans, but you said
Evans is 13. Godwin's 14.
Wow, that's sad. That is extremely sad. Hope. Wow.
Well, they're all walking onto the sideline, so I'm going to assume he's okay.
But what's crazy is it didn't look that hard of a hit. Well, obviously, just like
Well, but he was
Money.
also coming in full speed, though. So
yeah. I mean, it was almost the same type of DeMar Hamlin, where it didn't look that hard, but it was
now
just the way
that
it was
one,
hit.
that one looked pretty.
That one, yeah, his head snapped like that.
Because I don't know if it's a neck thing or a concussion thing. Because he got hit in the back of the head, and that's normally what gets hit when you get a concussion is when your head snaps back.
Yeah, but for him to go off on a cart, I'm kind of wondering if it wasn't some type of a neck injury. Like maybe he couldn't feel his feet or he's got some, partial paralysis, which heaven forbid.
I feel like you don't listen to me at all because I just said that like 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
And you say I don't listen.
Oh, no, I listen to you.
Okay, Cart's not on the field where the players are, so he must be okay.
Yep. 20-yard line. Want me to turn this back on now? There we go.
Yeah.
And down to the 13 or 12. Yeah, Kamani, I hope it's not serious either. I totally agree. Awful sad to see somebody. And I know it's a violent sport. I mean, we all know that, but we don't want to see the injuries. Unless it's against a team I don't like. Just kidding. Just kidding. First down. Get the first down. I know the game's over, but I don't want it to be 31-6. I'd rather have it be 31-14 or 13.
Yeah, I don't see, and this is what I was wondering is like if Brady goes out on a 31-6 like butt kicking, does he come back?
Touchdown. Does he what?
If Brady goes out on a 31-14 butt kicking, does he come back?
I don't think. I don't know. I just don't think he comes back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They say he wants to go to another team, and he's been looking at Josh McDaniels and the Raiders. So I don't know.
I don't know. That doesn't
Did
make
you hear
any
that?
sense. No.
Did you hear what he just said?
What did he say?
They just said that very well could be Tom Brady's last touchdown pass as a Buccaneer. There it is, 17 or 31-14. And I would have to agree. I don't think he comes back as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. I really don't. I think he's got his eyes on the Raiders.
Which still doesn't make any sense. Oh, that's easy, the 49ers. Easily 49ers.
Yeah, 49ers. I have to say, yeah, I agree.
Well, it's past your bedtime.
Oh, damn, it is. All right, see you guys. Just kidding. Oh. No, I don't have to work tomorrow, so it's not. If I had to work at a golf course tomorrow, then yeah, I'd be.
Okay, time for a Buccaneers comeback now.
Yeah, right. 2 minutes left in the game, and they need 3 touchdowns. Actually,
boy, wouldn't that add to the mystique of Tom Brady?
Actually, 2 touchdowns and a field goal to tie. Yeah, that would, wouldn't it? That'd be insane.
Okay, well, this is what I'm going to do.
Uh-oh. Tampa Bay got it.
The Bucks playing the Cowboys is one thing. Jeez, yeah, they did.
Tampa Bay got it.
The Bucks playing the Cowboys is one thing, but the Cowboys playing the 49ers is a whole nother deal.
Sure.
Like, the 49ers are a much better team.
Yep. Wow.
I told you, Bill. I told you. Come back. Here we go.
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine? He throws a strike to, let's say.
All we need is 2 touchdowns and a field goal to tie it up.
So let's say 2 minutes left. Let's say throws a pass, gets a touchdown. Then they go ahead, get an onside kick, and they get it again. Well, they have all 3 timeouts too. So, dude, I can't even. That would be insane.
Jimmy G to the Buccaneers next year, maybe, but they've also got Kyle Trask. They might see what he's got because Brady's been played all 2 seasons, or 3. How many has he played for the Bucs? 3?
Yeah, it's the 3rd year.
So yeah, Kyle Trask has been there for 2, so they might see what Kyle Trask has first.
You like it? You like that kid?
I don't know. I've never seen him play other than the preseason.
Well, yeah, I haven't either. But
in the preseason, everybody looks awesome until you get into the regular season. You're like, what the hell was that?
yeah, no kidding. But I mean, you look at some of these up and coming kids. Look at Purdy for the 49ers. Who would have thought that guy could have been what he's doing?
I almost wonder if the Niners are going to trade Trey Lance because you can't, with what Brock Purdy's done this year, you can't bench him. You can't. You got to see what he's got.
Exactly.
And Trey Lance didn't show enough in his 2 or 3 games like Brock Purdy did. So, let's say Brock Purdy takes you to the Super Bowl. You can't bench him.
No.
So what do you do with Trey Lance? Yes, Kyle Trask is from Florida.
So that tells me that just because you may be Mr. What's it called?
Irrelevant.
Yeah, irrelevant. Even though you may be Mr. Irrelevant, look what he's doing. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're drafted. It's your potential. It's how
you said Charlton Heston is up and coming kid.
Oh, freaking Glenn. You always make me laugh, dude. You always make me laugh. You always say something like that. Good stuff. All right, back to the game. Let's see if they can score and make it 31-21?
Yeah.
There's the bomb. That's what I was calling for. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh. Right on his fingertip. How do you not catch that, you freaking moron? It's right.
He was wide
Oh,
open,
alligator
too.
arms. Get your arms out there. Oh,
He
he had
had his-
alligator arms. He had alligator. He right here. Get out there. Look at that.
He had the guy beating everything.
My God, dude. Yeah, you should be looking like you suck. Oh, right through your hand. Get out of bounds. I know the game is probably over, but hey, you know, you never know. Until it goes 0-0, you never know. Come on. Come on, man. Oh, no, that was almost intercepted. Holy crapola. Gee, where was that?
You mean the Niners? If the Niners go to the Super Bowl and he starts next year, who backs him up? No idea, man. Maybe Trey Lance, but
Oh, he's talking about 49ers?
I'm assuming. I don't think Trey Lance would back him up. I mean, he's your number 2 overall pick. No, number 3. Like, would you sit your number 3 overall pick? I wouldn't.
Dang it. Fourth and forever.
I almost think, I don't know. I almost think like you trade Trey Lance, get some draft capital for him, and then go sign a free agent.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, what else do you do?
True. But who would
Because,
want
like, if
who would
you're
want
gonna
Trey Lance?
If you're going to keep Trey Lance on the team as your backup, well, he's your number 3 overall pick. Why would you keep him on the team as a backup?
Well, who would you want? I mean,
Anybody who can develop a quarterback. Like, we only saw 2 or 3 games out of him, and then he got hurt. So we have no idea what he can be. But you can't bench Brock Purdy at this point.
Do you think a Trey Lance could be another Matt Jones?
No, Trey Lance would be like, honestly, Russell Wilson.
Really?
Yeah, he's that type of quarterback. Maybe Lamar a little bit.
You think Denver should make a play for him?
Maybe.
Think about it.
Maybe.
He can learn under Wilson.
It's not a bad idea.
It's a thought. Yeah, but what would the 49ers want? That's the problem.
I don't know what you do with Trey Lance, man. Like, I know you're not paying him a lot. You're paying him rookie money, but at the same time, you want to get your value out of him when he's most valuable.
Yep.
And if he just sits on the bench and can't beat out Brock Purdy, then you're wasting his trade value.
True. Well, that's it. It was 4th down and 10, and that's the game, folks. Thanks for coming, and please drive safely. Wow. I never saw that. I never saw this coming. 31-14, did you?
No. How much you want to bet the Cowboys bring in a free agent kicker, though?
Most likely. All they got to do is take a knee. I mean, Tampa Bay's got one timeout.
Well, that means that Dallas is not going to replace Mike McCarthy.
Nope. And Dallas goes to who?
Well,
The
Dallas
Eagles-
will go Niners.
Yeah, the Eagles have
Because the Giants are the lower ranked. So Giants go to Eagles,
right.
Niners, or Dallas goes to the Niners.
Good. I hope the Niners kick their butt. And I don't like San Francisco, but I can't stand Dallas. So I want San Francisco. I want San Francisco and the Eagles.
Eat my ass, Glenn. Eat my ass.
The main reason why I want the Eagles is because the Giants beat the Vikings. So I want the Giants out.
Bye, Tom Brady. Have fun in retirement.
God, that pisses me off, man. Fudge.
All
You know,
right,
I lost the Viking game last night. I didn't see it because I had a family situation, but I did record it and I did watch it from the second half on. I was thoroughly disgusted. And then I wanted Tampa Bay, and I can't believe that they just laid an egg. Frustrating. However, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Dude, I can't believe that.
Thanks for knocking out the Chargers because I
Well,
can't.
now you got okay. So that means that this coming weekend,
yes,
there is the Chiefs versus the Jags. There is the Bills versus the Bengals.
I like that one.
And then for the NFC, you got the Eagles against the Giants, and you have the Niners against the Cowboys.
Right.
Now, the Niners and Cowboys one interests me.
It does.
But so does the Jags and Chiefs, man. I want to see how the Jags do. I kind of want to follow the Jags.
What do you mean? Wait, whoa, Glenn. What do you mean by that? How many teams do I have? What do you mean?
A lot.
My two.
He's got a favorite team per division.
No, I don't. No.
Like this is my favorite team in the AFC East. And South, North,
My
West.
favorite team is the Denver Broncos, first and foremost. In the NFC,
Los Angeles Chargers.
No. In the NFC, my NFC favorite team is the Minnesota Vikings. When they play this upcoming season, I'm going to cheer for the Broncos. But if the Broncos lose, I'm not going to be as heartbroken as if they lost to, let's say, the Chiefs or, heaven forbid, the Chargers. Okay? That's the only two teams. In the playoffs, I go for teams like I don't like Tampa Bay and I don't like Dallas. But I can't stand Dallas more than Tampa Bay. So that's why I went for Tampa Bay. Same with Cincinnati and Baltimore. I can't stand Harbaugh. I don't like him as a head coach. I can't stand his holier than thou attitude. It's me or nothing. I can't stand him. So I went for the Bengals. That's how I choose my teams in the playoffs. All right. Bills versus Bengals. That would be a good game to call, dude.
So you and I are doing the Avalanche versus the Crackhead on Saturday.
Crackheads.
Yeah. And that's a 9:00 game for me. So 7 for you. So it would either have to be an early Saturday or more than likely a Sunday game. So what games?
We don't know. Do we know the schedule yet?
No, but I'm assuming they're going to have a number 1 team on Saturday and a number 1 team on Sunday.
So probably the Eagles on Saturday or the Eagles on Sunday?
No, usually AFC is on Saturday.
So that would be the Bills and Bengals.
No, that would be the Chiefs and the Jags.
Really?
Because Chiefs are number 1.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying the Bills and Bengals is much more competitive than Kansas City and Jaguars.
You think so?
You think the Jaguars can compete with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and the whole AFC? I mean, the whole Kansas City team?
I don't know, dude. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure out the schedule, what game we're going to do. I'm assuming it'll be a game on Sunday.
Most likely. Yeah.
But you and I know that we're doing the Avalanche versus the Crackheads on Saturday. Glenn's already got it. Thanks, Glenn.
Wow.
Okay, so Glenn, I'm assuming this is your time, so I need to take an hour off. So I almost think we do the Dallas 49ers game.
That's a 1:00 game.
No, that is a Sunday night game.
Oh, wow.
So the Jags and the Chiefs are Saturday early, and then the Giants and Eagles are a 7:00 game, so 5 your time, on Saturday. And then the Bengals, Bills are at 2 my time Sunday, and then Dallas and San Fran are 5:30 my time.
We can do that
So
one.
I think we do the Dallas Niners game.
That's fine.
I want to do that Jacksonville game, but I can't.
I'll do a 49 game. That's fine.
So we got the Crackheads on Saturday, and we got the Niners,
Crackhead.
the Niners Cowboys game on Sunday. We can do that. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, what?
I don't know.
No, what? Hey, we're the monkeys.
Was it how they say that? Hey, we're the monkeys. We keep on monkeying around. Yeah, something like
I don't know. You were around that time. I wasn't.
that.
You tell me.
I was knee high to a grasshopper back then in the 60s, man. I was born in 1958, dude. They were
Yeah,
popular in like the
You
60s.
were born before my parents.
What?
You're older than my parents, Bill.
Are you serious?
You're
I was
old
born,
as
I
balls.
was seriously born in 1958. I graduated in 1976, the bicentennial year.
Boo, boo, boo. I want the Bills versus Bengals.
That's
Bills
who he
and-
wants us to broadcast. I like that matchup, Kamani. I really do.
Bills,
I
Bengals
really like that
for
matchup.
2:00 Sunday afternoon. We can do that.
I like that. Sunday afternoon, 12. I like that.
You want to do Bills, Bengals?
Yeah, let's do that one.
All right, we'll do Bills, Bengals.
All right, Kamani, you win, man. You win. I think
Bills,
that's
Bengals.
I think that's a really good game to do because
We
the
never
Bills
got
are-
to see it last time,
No, we didn't. You're right.
so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we'll do the Crackheads and the Avalanche on Saturday. We'll do the Bills, Bengals on Sunday. Good Lord, y'all are old. We want to thank every single person that joined us in the stream. We want to thank Zach Seegers for joining us in there. Rich just jumped in. Hello, Richie. It's interesting not doing Broncos games, but it's fun just to sit here and watch football, have conversations with you guys. So we will see you. Make sure you tune into the 5280 tomorrow. And then you got Wild Wild West on Wednesday. You got Bronco Bill, Bronco Breakdown on Friday. And then the Crackheads on Saturday. And the Bills Bengals on Sunday. And then we repeat the schedule all over again. Except next week, Tuesday, we have Sports Nonsense and Whiskey starting up right after the 5280 podcast on Tuesday. So make sure you tune in for that. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. And we shall see you later.